Like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop tools, and matchup analysis. Plus, 24/7 access to shows on the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss our March Mania betting guide, key trends, bracket strategies, and best bets from VSiN's top analysts. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to sign up today and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Prop Points with Nick Whalen and Jeff Erickson.
Let's start with Malik Willis. Heading to the Miami Dolphins, a 3-year, $67.5 million deal, about $45 million of that fully guaranteed. After making the move to release Tua, again, $99 million in dead money on the books over the next 2 years. That is an NFL record. Miami plus 390, tied with the Arizona Cardinals as your short shot to finish with the fewest wins in 2026.
Prop Points, weekdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
There is no other college basketball betting analyst quite like it. His passion is unparalleled. He handicaps every game, every day, all season long. Sleep is not an option for him. He stays fresh by running 12 miles a day, every day, while doing his podcast and answering your tweets. He is Greg Hoops Peterson.
Tame the madness of March by catching Greg Peterson on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hey, it's JVT from Pod to the Futures, where we project this season's MLB Player Awards, including who's going to lead the league in home runs.
We've been waiting for the emergence of Joe Adell for a very long time, and then it finally happens. 37 home runs, I think 98 runs batted in last year too, so the breakout seems to have happened, and I think that that's a real swing, and the power is legit. So if he's all of a sudden found himself in a comfort zone, and he's still relatively young, I think he can stay healthy. I do think that he could find himself potentially in the running for leading the league in home runs.
When you're looking at these player futures markets, especially one like to lead the league in home runs, something like that, you sort of want to see a trajectory in terms of contact quality, right? Contact authority. So for Joe Adell last year, big barrel jump, big hard hit percentage jump, big average exit velocity jump. Those are kind of stickier things. I think you're on the right track with one like that. I don't know if it comes through. Obviously, 80-1, you don't necessarily expect it to, but these signs are there.
Hear the rest of the conversation on Pod to the Futures, wherever you get your podcasts and on the VSiN Watch app.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
We started Live Bet Saturday on Championship Saturday, reacting to some wild endings in conference tournaments around the country. We might end our 3 hours together doing the exact same. 78-75, 9 seconds remaining in Nashville between Arkansas in the 15 seed in the SEC tournament. Ole Miss, who has won 3 consecutive games in 3 consecutive days, booked as an underdog outright in all 3. They got a huge defensive stop on Trevin Brazil for Arkansas. They call a timeout into the front court. 9 ticks remaining. Shot clock off. 3-point game. Chris Beard in the huddle. Dustin Sweetelson, what are you thinking?
This is incredible. I have Arkansas -8. So I want Ole Miss to tie this up to go to overtime. I want another frame of action for these tired legs, which, by the way, don't look tired at all. Apparently, Ole Miss was saving their best for the end of the season in the SEC tournament. This team lost me so much money every time I thought they were live during the year, and I don't touch them in the conference tournament, and they are red hot. 9 seconds to go. They couldn't get something assembled initially on their possession, so they called a timeout. And we'll see. Chris Beard is one of the great X's and O's tacticians we have in college basketball today. This is the sign of a great coach. Do you get a good look out of a timeout with the game on the line? I don't trust Calipari in these roles. The reason I laid it with Calipari is I thought his part as a recruiter was going to shine, where he'd have more talent in this game, but that has not been the case. A massive final 9 seconds as they break the timeout here. The winner will play Vanderbilt for the SEC championship in 2026.
And let's make no bones about it. The Hogs are going dancing. There is one way and only one way for Ole Miss to get to the NCAA tournament. It's winning this game and winning tomorrow in the SEC tournament title game to earn that automatic bid. Smart play by the Razorbacks defensively. Up by 3, out of the timeout, about 35 feet away from the cup. The Hogs foul. So with 7.2 seconds remaining, the Rebs will be at the line down by 3. I believe, Ole Miss still in the single.
Please stand by for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network on the Live 365 Network and the Live 365 app.
Saturday nights are hockey nights. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the Covelli Center in downtown Youngstown, Ohio, the United States Hockey League is proud to present regular season game number 57 for your Youngstown Phantoms. Tonight, they take on the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Good evening, sports fans. My name is Matt Lipsack, the voice of the Youngstown Phantoms. Pleased to be bringing you the action this evening on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey, joined up here in the booth tonight by Will Craven. Will, welcome back into the broadcast, young man.
Thank you for having me.
Phantoms and Fighting Saints were in action last night here at the Covelli Center. A thrilling 4-3 overtime victory for the Phantoms. Youngstown opened with the game's first 2 goals at 8:21. It was Jack Wilson's 10th of the season. Evan Jardine and Jack Hextall with the assist. And then at 12:48, Jesse Orlowski unassisted for his 3rd goal of the campaign, put Youngstown out to an early lead at 18:22. Colin Frank, the power play goal for the Fighting Saints, cut that lead in half and started a 3-goal run for Dubuque. At 10:27 of the second, Nils Sunda, his first in the USHL. And then 11:58, Lincoln Kritzky, his 5th of the season, gave Dubuque a 3-2 lead at the end of the second. 6:46 of the third, Malachi McKinnon knots us up with his 24th goal of the season. Jack Hextall and Alexander Svitov with the assists. We went to overtime. Minute and 9 seconds into overtime, Evan Jardine called for interference. Phantoms go down 4-on-3 for 2 minutes. Youngstown able to kill it off, and then right out of the penalty box, 8 seconds after the penalty expires, Jardine snaps a wrister past Wojtek Hombolak for his 23rd goal of the season, 50th in the USHL, and a 4-3 Youngstown victory. Hamblin took the loss. He stopped 33 out of 37. Tobias Trebel got the win. He stopped 25 out of 28. Sorry, he stopped 21 out of 24. Dubuque power play was 1 for 4. Youngstown power play was 1 for 5. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we will take a look at the scratch report as well as the starting lineups. You are listening to the pregame show here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
When your cable internet slows down, your life slows down. You fall a step behind. Introducing Fiber Home Internet from T-Mobile with the bandwidth you need and upload speeds that won't slow down. With fiber, you'll be a step ahead. Really, really ahead. T-Mobile Fiber, starting at just $55 a month with a 5-year price guarantee.
Hey, you should clean your car. Nobody wants to put the lane looking like that. Yeah, it's selfish. I think it's actually to head on over to Mr. Magic Car Wash.
Everyone deserves Youngstown's most premier car wash. Head on over to Mr. Magic's 5 neighborhood locations to have this car looking shiny key.
You got so much to do. It's got you feeling blue. Put a little play in your day. 'Cause it's fun all over the state. So come on. Great games wait for you and me. The Ohio Lottery. Put a little play in your day. Put a little play in your day.
Your best source for everything hockey is here. The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game.
McDavid to the net. Score!
Off the ice player content you won't find anywhere else.
You guys have a helmet I could throw on for this?
The most NHL edge stats and advanced analytics and ways to catch up on the game how you want, when you want. When it comes to following the NHL, don't settle for anything else. Hockey is better on the NHL app.
At Texas Roadhouse, we do more than just hand-cut steaks. We have hot, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and everybody loves our fresh-baked bread with that honey cinnamon butter. The Phantoms love Texas Roadhouse, and we know you will too.
I'm Jarrett, owner of Pineapple POS. The same hardware that powers the Cavelli Center can power your business too. With free hardware, local service, and tools to eliminate your credit card processing fees. Visit pineapplepos.com.
Fans, become part of the Phantoms family to get special discounts, free parking, a reserved seat throughout the year, and more. To join the Phantoms family, call 330-747-7825 for more information.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Cavelli Center during the pregame show. A little bit of an extended pregame here at the Cavelli Center tonight as we had billet and family appreciation before the game. So we're going to take a look at last night's scores across the USHL. Starting at USA Hockey Arena, the Fargo Force just able to hold off the U17s by the score of 3-2. Muskegon tops Chicago 4-1 at Trinity Health Arena, as Chicago trying to get to that last playoff spot, and U18s helped out Chicago by beating Madison 5-3 over at Bob Suter's Legacy 20 Arena in Middleton. Chicago remains 3 points behind Madison for the final playoff spot with a game in hand. We will take a look at the standings once we get through the scoreboard. Also last night, Waterloo downing Des Moines 3-2. Cedar Rapids knocks off Green Bay 6-4. Omaha tops Tri-City 3-1. And Sioux Falls with the 6-4 victory over Sioux City. Take a look at the matchups going on tonight. Fargo will be at USA Hockey Arena again to take on the U17s. Chicago and Muskegon trade places. Last night the game was in Muskegon. Tonight the game will be at Fox Valley Ice Arena in Geneva, Illinois. Waterloo will be taking on Sioux City this evening. Omaha and Tri-City wrap up their season series. Sioux Falls will be taking on Lincoln at the Icebox. The U18s stay in Madison to battle the Capitals, and Green Bay has one more against Cedar Rapids out in the stable. Let's take a look at the standings here in the USHL. We'll start out west, where all of the playoff teams have been decided, but seeding still very much up in the air. In first place with 76 points, the Sioux Falls Stampede. Second place belongs to Fargo with 71. Fargo a game in hand on the Sioux Falls Stampede. Sioux City is in third, as right now they have the tiebreaker over Lincoln with 23 regulation overtime wins. Both Sioux City and Lincoln have 57 points, but that row number, and you're going to hear a lot about that row number here in the next 3.5-4 weeks as the USHL winds down its regular season here for 2025-2026. So we have Sioux City and Lincoln, both tied at 57 points in third and fourth respectively. Tri-City right behind them with a game in hand on Lincoln, but Sioux City has a game in hand on Tri-City. So the way the scheduling and everybody's games remaining is just crazy here as we come down the stretch. Youngstown has actually played a league-high 56 games here coming into play tonight. So Tri-City in fifth in the West with 55, and then Des Moines actually sitting a game under 500, but they own the final playoff spot out west with 53 points because Waterloo only has 32 and Omaha only has 30. As I mentioned, we hit the final 4 weeks of the regular season. So all 6 playoff teams have been decided out west. The only team that has clinched in the East is the Youngstown Phantoms with 81 points. Green Bay sitting in second with 71. Dubuque right behind them at 70. Muskegon has 67. Cedar Rapids 65. Madison 61. Chicago 58. And Team USA has been eliminated from playoff consideration. They have 31 points on the season. All right, it is time to take a look at tonight's scratch report, and for that, we will throw it over to Will Craven.
Tonight for Dubuque, you can scratch number 6, Charlie Aaron, number 9, Trevor Thoyer, and number 11, Mason Fleece. For Youngstown tonight, it'll be number 23, Matusz Kucharczyk, number 36, Braden Thompson, number 37, Sean Miller, and number 42, Jackson Adams. Back to Matt.
And now for the starting lineups. We will begin with the visiting Dubuque Fighting Saints, who enter tonight's game with a 33-16-4-0 record. Their 70 points put them in third place in the USHL's Eastern Conference. Starting at left wing out of Sweden, committed to Niagara, number 17, Dante Josefsson Westling. At center, out of Sweden, committed to Minnesota State, number 16, Melvin Ekman. At right wing, out of Ladera Ranch, California, committed to UConn, number 22, Colin Frank. On defense, out of Barrington, Illinois, committed to Brown, number 19, Luke Brierly. And out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, committed to Ohio State, number 21, Lincoln Kritsky. In net, out of Czechia, number 33, Wojtek Hombolek. Hombolek enters tonight's game with a 24-11-1-0 record, a 2.84 goals against average, and a .898 save percentage. Fighting Saints are coached by Evan Dixon, assisted by Jacob Semick and Sam Graham. And now for the Youngstown Phantoms, who enter tonight's game with a 38-13-3-2 record. Their 81 points put them in first place in the USHL's Eastern Conference. Starting at left wing out of Czechia, number 22, Rikard Zemlička. At center out of Czechia, committed to the University of Nebraska at Omaha, number 28, Jakub Hesch. At right wing out of Brooklyn, New York, committed to Harvard, number 8, Jesse Orlowski. On defense out of Menominee, Minnesota, committed to Augustana, number 4, Ryan Whiterabbit. And out of Youngstown, Ohio, committed to Miami, number 12, Cal Houston. In net out of Czechia, committed to UMass, number 79, Tobias Trebel. Trebel enters tonight's game with a 25-9-3-0 record, a 2.19 goals against average, a .914 save percentage, and 3 shutouts on the season. The Phantoms are coached in his 4th season by Ryan Ward. The associate head coach is Brandon Gatkin. They are assisted by Redmond Brow, their chief of staff, and their director of player development, Cal Kafuke. The equipment manager is Andrew Rush, athletic trainer Amber Martinelli, goaltending coach Neil Conway, strength and conditioning coach Tommy Malloy. The team president is Andrew Goldman, and the general managers are Jason Deskins and Ryan Kosecki. The officials for tonight's game were selected by USA Hockey and are as follows. The referees will be Miroslav Yards and Luke Stork. The linesmen will be Anthony Drafita and Riley Brass. Just about 4.5 minutes remaining before starting live to the national anthem here at the arena. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we will have Youngstown Phantoms hockey here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
It goes on and on and on. Remind me of everything tonight. Yes, I'm in the zone. Dreaming about the things that we could be.
Patrick Twins makes the save. Rebound to the weak side. In front. Score!
start to dance and I'm singing like.
The steal, Ben Simpson, toe drag, Simpson in, tucks it home, he scores!
I want you to be happier because I'm happy.
Right circle for Simpson, ripped across, Hextall, shot, score!
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red, Price Heating and Cooling.
Go Phantoms and best wishes this season from KO Consulting, your community and economic development firm specializing in grants for nonprofits, small business, and governments.
Stay up to date on when and where the Phantoms play by following our social media platforms. Find us on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and more.
Discover Mahoning County and Northeast Ohio, where charm meets adventure. Explore stunning parks, vibrant arts, and rich history. From the scenic trails of Mill Creek Park to lively downtown Youngstown, Mahoning County has it all. Tee off at award-winning golf courses, enjoy the waters of Lake Milton, and browse charming antique shops. Indulge in local cuisine, relax at wineries and breweries, and experience unforgettable year-round events. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Mahoning County welcomes you with open arms. Plan your visit today and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit exploremahoning.com and start your adventure.
Adams Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio, home of the Youngstown Phantoms. On the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Number 28, Yakov Cash.
On defense from Montelmini, Minnesota, number 4, Ryan Whiterabbit. Also on defense from just 3.9 miles up the road, he's from Boardman, Ohio, number 12, Cal Houston. Fans, please stand and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem by Rachel Miller.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Rachel Miller with a wonderful rendition of our national anthem on a Saturday night here in Youngstown. Welcome back into the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Lipsack and Will Craven here with you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey. We have Dave Ferris pushing the buttons, keeping us on the air. Jim Craven joining us as well. Brendan Miller keeping things on social media for you. Follow the Phantoms on X at YTown Phantoms, on Facebook and Instagram at Youngstown Phantoms. Phantoms and Dubuque for the fourth and final time this season. Youngstown has taken the first 3 matchups, 2 of them in overtime. A couple of big points on the line here for Dubuque tonight, Will, as they're looking for that first round bye.
Oh, for sure, especially sitting 1 point behind Green Bay tonight, who's in action against Cedar Rapids. They're hoping they can get some help out there out west in Iowa.
You can roll for initiative. We are underway. Youngstown controls the draw. Houston fires it into the zone, comes to the left wing wall. Hesh quickly back around, but it's taken away by Josephson Westling and sent out to the neutral zone. White Rabbit sticks it away from Frank, pinballing around on the logo. Knocked into the zone by Ekman, but offside are the Fighting Saints. 19 seconds into this first period, which is presented by Safehold. Face-off will be in the neutral zone right in front of the Phantoms bench, where you see Ryan Ward. Wardo in his 4th season, 151, 69, and 22. Just 14 wins shy of Brad Patterson's all-time record as a head coach for the Youngstown Phantoms. Phantoms control the draw again. Houston forced back into his own zone. Goes D-to-D over to White Rabbit. Out to center off the leg of Orlowski and chipped into the offensive zone, but right to the stick of Kritsky. Quickly D-to-D to Brierly and out to center. Stick down into the zone as Josephson Westling delivered a big hit on Orlowski at center and went head-hunting there around the red line again and whiffed on his check completely. As the puck is down in the Saints zone, as a member of the Saints gets trucked from behind by Zemlichka, throwing around that 6'3" frame, and Will, a physical start to this one here in the opening 60 seconds.
Oh, for sure, especially in the final 4 weeks here. You know, these points on the line, these guys are trying to find that high level of intensity and consistency heading into the playoffs.
Here it's Wilson ahead, out to center for Svitov, banked ahead to Hextall. Hextall down the right side, pulls up at the hash marks. Back to the top of the circle. And forced out to the neutral zone. Fires it behind him to Wilson. Junior waits for the touch-up and fires it in. Trickles around to the near side. Gavin Locke grabs it, knocked down by Svitov. Trickled behind the cage, grabbed by Hextall. Fan on his first pass, second effort, gets it up the wall to Murphy. Turns and fires to the belly of Hombolek, who holds.
That was a great forecheck there from Youngstown. There again, these two teams are playing kind of like a chess match so far with some physicality in it. A couple of dumps-ins, and that was the first play really made there by Youngstown.
First shot on net of the game, 132 into regulation. This unit's going to stay out there for Youngstown. It'll be Hextall to take the draw to the right of Hombolek. And I believe that is Teddy Merrill, number 12 in the circle for the Fighting Saints. A little bit of a false start there from Gavin Locke. Clean face-off win for Merrill. Puck taken by Lofton and bounced out to center. Bumped ahead by Murphy, skated into by Merrill, and chipped in the left wing corner of the Youngstown zone. Murphy to Hextall, past Wilson, grabbed by Merrill. Up to the point, but Lofton couldn't hold the zone. He'll float it back in. Saints have to touch up. Hextall grabbed that loose change and will carry ahead. Red line in blue into the Saints zone. Hextall toward the cage, but missed it wide. Rebound pumped around the kick plate by Hamilton, past the man behind the net. Kept in at the right side by Tepley, but he put it behind the net. It's taken by Besnier. Tried to clear it up the middle, hit off a phantom stick, but bounced right to Lofton. Quickly into the zone are the Fighting Saints. Barron down the left wing wall. Poked off of his twig nicely by Monte Tepley. And the biscuit grab by Rusinski. Carried around the net to the near side, ripped it out to center. To Jardine, dropped it back in the defensive zone for Tepley. Traded off to Hamilton. Now across the red line for Jardine. He will float it to the edge of the blue paint, and Hombolek will throw the trapper on top of it. 17:23 left in the first. We are scoreless. We saw Evan Jardine and Ryan Rusinski out there. Jardine, 50th USHL goal last night, now tied with Rusinski. And also Austin Cangelosi for third all-time Phantom goal scoring. They are both 4 behind Sam Annis for second. Of course, Kyle Connor tops that Phantoms goal scoring list with 82 career markers in the 175 games that Kyle Connor played here for the Youngstown Phantoms. Face off to the left of Hombolek, but won by the Saints. Played quickly out to center, but right there for Cal Houston. Cal to the red line and ahead to the zone for Simpson. Ricocheted out to center, and Youngstown re-enters the zone offside. Choppy start to this first period. 2 minutes and 50 seconds in. Don't know if we've gone more than a minute without a whistle.
If you're Coach Ward, you see Simpson out there, you want him to get back on the stat sheet. He's fallen into a little bit of a dry spot here in the past couple games.
4 straight without a point for Simpson as a shot from White Rabbit off the neutral zone faceoff win right to the glove of Hombolek. So 4 games without a goal and 4 games without a point. 4 games without a goal that ties the season long for Simpson. He's done that 4 times so far this year, but 4 games just without a point. That is the season long for Cooper Simpson as he's fallen well back of Alex Pelletier. For the USHL scoring lead, looks like Pelletier is going to get away with that one here. I think he has a 7-point lead as we approach the final 4 weeks of the season. Puck down into the Dubuque zone. Up to the right point for Houston. Dropped it behind him for Simpson. He'll turn and fire to the left wing corner, trying to keep the cycle alive. But it'll bounce to Kritsky. Send it off the back of the net and up the far wall, trying to connect with Loesch, who is in the line tonight after being scratched last night. Dubuque going with 11 forwards and 8 defensemen here tonight. I think the Fighting Saints may be short a body on this trip as Houston denies the Youngstown line to the Saints, but Dubuque quickly repossesses and brings it right back into the zone. Dabrowski behind him to Orpana. Tried to drop it off back to Dabrowski, but sent back out the center by Youngstown. Jardine works it deep and heads off 4 line changes. The puck grabbed by Brierly, sent up the far wall for Josef Westling. Played down into the Youngstown zone. Murphy leaves it in the left corner for Wilson. Murphy took a heavy hit from Xavier Lieb, who has a healthy fan contingent. Lieb from the Altoona area, Nicktown, Pennsylvania. Seemed like we had about half the population of Nicktown here last night. Slightly smaller crowd for Dubuque tonight, but still a healthy contingent wearing red and white down in section 206 to my right. Dubuque puts it behind the Youngstown net. Murphy up the far wall to Wilson, off the window and out to center. But no, over the glass, out of play, 15:31 left in the first. We're still scoreless.
It looks like Dubuque's winning the physicality game here early. Those physical bodies from these Dubuque players have kind of slowed down the pace and the flow that the Phantoms were playing with to start the game.
See if Youngstown can answer that physical presence. And as if Coach Ward heard you, he puts out the Hesh, Orlowski, and Zemlichka unit. And it'll be Hesh to take the faceoff. Faceoff controlled by the Saints in the slot for a shot that got blocked off the stick of Barron. Prime scoring opportunity for one of the, it is the Saints' leading scorer. Dubuque quickly fished it out of the Youngstown zone. Coming into the zone is Merrill. Tried to slide it over to Locke. Broken up by the Phantoms. Tepley out to center for Zemlichka. Tried to float it back to Tepley, who was charging the cage. Lofton broke that up. Worked it behind the cage to Besnier. And around the wall out to center. Hesh back into his own zone for it. Got it away from Barron. Lost his footing. Able from his knees to work it out to center. Picked up there by Richards. Dropped back into his own zone ahead to Barron. Standing at the Youngstown line. Redirects it to the end. Wall heads off for a change. Berard in the lineup after being a healthy scratch last night to Zemlichka. Out to center for Tepley. Ahead to Orlowski. He'll redirect it into the Dubuque zone and head off for a change. Sunda up the far wall and out to center. Grabbed by Cal Houston. Fired back toward Dubuque blue. Skating into the zone by Svitov. Cuts to the middle with a shot. He ripped it wide of the cage from the high slot. Had Hombolek leaning a little bit as Svitov skating left and shot back to the right. Here it's Svitov again, feeding one into the blue paint, trying to sneak it through the 5-hole, but Hombolek throws the trapper on top of it and holds for immediate timeout. 14-16 left in the first. We're scoreless. You're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Covelli Center. Matt Lipsack and Will Craven here with you. 14-16 left in the first. We're scoreless. Fighting Saints still looking for their first shot on goal. Youngstown has registered 3 so far, 2 of them on the last shift. Off the stick of Alexander Svitov. And it'll be Svitov, Hextall, and McKinnon out here. Up front for Youngstown, White Rabbit and Houston on the back end. Hextall with the face-off win. McKinnon to Houston. DD to White Rabbit left point. Back center point looking for McKinnon, but the pass was offline and down into the Youngstown zone. Hustling down for it was Brierly, and his shot answered by the pad of Trable. There's the first shot for the Fighting Saints. Back on the attack is White Rabbit. He's wedged off by Kritsky. Puck rolls into the left wing corner. Svitov blocks the clearing attempt, poked it below the goal line. Saints are able to grab it, and they carry it far side and out to the neutral zone. Houston took it away, couldn't feed it ahead to Svitov. Saints will fire it down into the Youngstown end. Trable sends it up the near wall. Cross-ice feed as it was picked off by Johnson, but taken away by Youngstown. And Svitov into the attack. McKinnon through the low slot looking for a redirect by Hextall. It wouldn't go. Saints able to clear out the center, but they give it right back to McKinnon. Drop back to Wilson. D far side for Murphy. Carter gains the red line, fires it into the Dubuque zone. Simpson put it behind the net. Long reach of Luke Brierly, able to corral that and ices the puck. Jack Wilson down to draw the icing whistle with 13:08 left in the first. We're scoreless. They haven't put that last shot for Dubuque on the scoreboard yet. So by my count, shots should be 3-1 in favor of Youngstown.
It seems like Dubuque is winning about almost every puck race so far all over the ice, even though the Phantoms are out shooting them right now.
Faceoff will be to the left of Hommelek. Rusinski line out. Simpson and Jardine on his flanks. Faceoff won by the Saints. They put it right over the glass and out of play. NHL, that's a delayed game penalty. USHL, you're just not allowed to make a line change. Unless it's the goaltender. The goaltender does it, then it is a delay of game penalty. Looks like everyone's okay down there in, what's that, 204? Face-off won again by Yosis and Westling, and it looks like Dubuque has iced the puck again. They have. And check that, I believe that might have been Orpana on the face-off.
It seems like Dubuque's trying to utilize the high glass here to get the pucks out of the zone, hopefully to get a loose puck there in a transition to lead to a scoring chance.
Face-off to the right of Hommelek this time. It'll be Jardine to take the draw. But Orpana with another face-off win. Saints try the far wall this time. They get it cleanly out to center. No icing whistle on this one. Well, there very well could have been, as Wilson able to chip it to Jardine, gets it back, and brings it up the middle. Out to center for Rusinski. Rue quickly across to Murphy. Murphy left dot with a shot, missed the cage. Rusinski to the rebound. Put it down into the corner for Simpson. Cooper. Watched by Besnier. Carries up that far wall to the line, holds the line. Send it over to Tepley. Phantoms changing defense behind the play. Jardine tried to feed it out in front, looking for Rusinski. Wouldn't go, and Dubuque back through center. Gavin Larkin on the attack. Tried to step around Jack Hamilton, but Tepley there to take it away. Finds Jardine behind the defense. Jardine in shot. Hambulik makes the save, and he holds. Jardine looking for maybe a spot over the pad there, Will, about an inch above the pad, just below the glove where he was aiming, that looked like to you?
For sure. The hardest shot a goalie can save is blocker side, and that's the spot you always want to shoot at, especially on a breakaway right there when you're in the 50-50 area in the high slot.
Hommelek equal to the task on the man that ended last night's game. Evan Jardine had the overtime game winner. Here it's Lenny Boos with the faceoff win. Boos gets it back. Sharp angle shot off the pad. Came to the near wall. Hamilton chips it down into the corner. Bounces to the Saints. Anderson blocks it. Came out in front. Taken away by Dubuque. Cleared to the line. Kept by Hamilton. Over to the right corner looking for Boos, but wedged off by the Saints, and they'll bring it back through center. Into the attacking end came number 12, that's Teddy Merrill, the captain of this Fighting Saints team, but his wrister swallowed up and held by Tobias Trable, and there was no rebound.
That was kind of just a simple little zone entry there. He tried to utilize the middle of the ice there, maybe shoot glove side or blocker side on Trable there, but a nice simple zone entry there that's getting Dubuque on the stat sheet and the shots on goal column.
So face off to the left of Trable. And it will be Boos to take the draw against Ekman. Dubuque wins it into the corner. Ekman there to send it around left side for Frank. Frank coming back near side, watched by White Rabbit. White Rabbit got to be careful there not to take a hold with that free hand, as it is Sasaki gets the puck away. Stripped of it from behind, bounced over to Anderson. He'll feed Houston. Cal retreats into his own end. Now snaps it ahead to the logo for Sasaki. Put it behind him for Anderson into the zone for Boos. Turning, firing was blocked to the right wing corner. Saints get there first. Couldn't clear, however. Second effort. They'll feed it to the left wing corner, bank it up the near wall, and just get it out to center. Glove down by Sasaki and sent back in as Phantoms will start a line change. Dubuque ahead. No icing on this one as White Rabbit will carry near corner. Up the wall, Zemlichka lifts the right leg, lets the puck come out to center. Saints take it away, bring it back in. Cross ice feed stolen by Yakupesh and sent down the ice. They're going to wave off icing here as the puck comes behind the net, and losing his footing on the play was Sunda as it comes up the near wall, taken away by Dubuque. Cavelli fans wanted a penalty behind the play as Wilson with a blocked pass and then quickly throwing it back on the cage was Xavier Lieb. put it off the pad of Trable, off the outside of the post, and out of play with 10:30 left in this first period.
Youngstown's doing a great job in the defensive zone as of recently. There's been multiple times Dubuque's carried it in. There's been back check in numbers. So anytime they make a move, there's a Youngstown defender right on the backside of the players taking the puck away.
Face-off won cleanly by Hesh. Wilson softly up the middle, kept at the line, however, by Johnson. Put it behind the net looking for Dabrowski. Came around far side for Rapana. Back to Dabrowski, stripped of the puck by Zemlichka. Fed quickly out in front, out to the top of the right circle. Toe drag shot is blocked by Jakob Hesh. That came from the right point off the stick of Richards. Puck down into the left corner. Johnson fired it around over to Kritsky. Touch behind him to Dabrowski. Below the goal line for Kritsky, up to the right point for Brierly. Pump back down the wall to Kritsky. Top of the right circle, turning, firing off the tip of the glove of Trable and wide. Lots of traffic in front on that one. Brierly has it stripped behind the play. Murphy was slashed as he tried to come out in front. Puck trickled into the blue paint. Trable throws the trapper on top of it, and we'll have immediate timeout. 9:42 left in the first. We're scoreless. Listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Adams Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
Western Reserve Radio is the home of the Youngstown Phantoms. Be sure to call 330-747-PUCK for ticket information or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Cavelli Center. 9:42 left in the first. We're scoreless. Matt Lipsack and Will Craven here with you. Defensive zone draw coming for Youngstown. We're going to drop the puck to the left of Trable. Phantoms late getting their fifth skater on the ice. We were wondering if maybe Youngstown had been called for a penalty, but that is not the case, and we'll stay at 5 aside, although Will and I discussing things off the air. Dubuque definitely guilty of a slash on that last play as Carter Murphy carried around the cage. Here it's Dubuque winning the faceoff. Shot is blocked. Puck still loose in the circle. Down on the seat of his pants is Mate Tepley. Youngstown finally comes away with the puck as Svitov carries it over to McKinnon, who couldn't get it deep. Phantoms forced right back out to the neutral zone. They'll dump it back in, have to touch up. Lofton run into by Hextall, but able to bounce off that check, kept control of the puck, carries far side, up the middle, and off of Barron. Grabs it in front of the Phantoms bench, fires it off the blocker of Trable. He'll punch it into the right wing corner. Svitov to the rebound, up to the line, kept by Lofton. His shot hit bodies in the slot, grabbed by McKinnon, backhanded out to center for Hextall. Jack into the attacking zone. Waits for help, finds Tepley. Tepley across, one-timer from the left circle. I think that was Berard missing the cage. Brody has it back, turning, firing. Humblick with the save. Rebound, McKinnon looking for it, but he was tangled up with Lofton, and Dubuque comes away with the puck. 8:45 left in the first. We're scoreless. Into the attacking zone is Merrill. He'll run into a couple of Phantoms. Thought that Dubuque might have been offside on the play, actually, as Merrill was forced wide as he tried to enter the zone. But Berard will fire it down the ice. No icing on this one as reverse check thrown by Richards on Simpson, but Rusinski able to keep the zone. Rue had it roll off his stick into the right wing corner. Got in after it. Rusinski still with it. Right hash marks, trades it off to Simpson. To the slot for Jardine. Fanned on the shot and was also partially blocked. Simpson holds the zone to White Rabbit down the near wall. To Rusinski, turning, firing, missed the cage from the inside edge of the left circle. Houston behind the net to Jardine, ripped off the puck. And Dubuque, however, couldn't clear past Rusinski. Second effort, they will get it out to center. Ekman throws it off the back of one of his men, came to Richards, and he'll play it deep. Came around left corner for Houston. Bumped off the puck by Ekman, up the wall, Josephson Westling. Fed the left point for Loesch, across over to Doobie. Put it into the right corner. Only one there is Cal Houston. He'll carry around the cage to the far side and out to center with 7:35 left in the first. Houston gained the zone, fired hard off the end wall. It came to Boost left side. Lenny trying to fight through a check to keep it alive behind the cage. He did. Couldn't feed it in front to Sasaki. Out to the line, kept by Wilson. Jack turning, firing on Homblick. Rebound. Boost had it hop over his stick. Grabbed by Murphy. Center point Sasaki. Wilson. Sasaki, center point. Right circle. Jardine shot is blocked into the slot. Phantoms able to keep the zone somehow. Boost keeps it alive, puts it behind the goal, but skated into by Dubuque. Chipped up the middle, but kept by Boost once more. But as he tried to play it off the wall to himself, it's out to center by the Saints. Josephson Westling stripped of the puck by Anderson. He'll get it back into the attacking zone, but he's put into the wall, and Dubuque sends it back out to center. Wilson ahead to Sasaki, but offside was Logan Anderson as he was being held against the wall. Could not escape the zone. Will, I think you were looking for a holding call on that one.
Yeah, they got tangled up there. The Dubuque player wouldn't let go of his stick there, but that was an amazing blue-collar shift there from that Lenny Booz line there. They kept the puck in the offensive zone the majority of that shift.
Hesh to take the center ice draw against Lieb. Face-off won by the Saints. Brierly ahead off of Lieb and into the Youngstown zone. Stopped behind the cage by Treble. Fed it left corner from Murphy. To Hesh and back to Murphy. Cross the ice to Wilson near side. To Orlowski, right point. Across. Wilson shot off the tip of the glove of Homblick. Wilson to his own rebound. Walks the blue line on his backhand. Turns it back forehand. Spins and feeds Orlowski, but he couldn't hold the line. And Youngstown's back out to center. Orlowski from the red line. Chips it to Hesh. Gives it back to Orlowski. Jesse spins in the left corner. Looks for help. Carries up to the top of the circle. Cycled down to Svitov. Svitov had it knocked off his stick into the corner. Loose down there at the bottom of the left circle. Grabbed by the Saints. And Lieb will drop it behind him to Kritsky, who will put it into the Youngstown zone. No, check that. He'll put it out of play. Neutral zone draw upcoming. 5:45 left in the first. We're still scoreless. Shots on goal read 7-2. Well, we've seen a couple positive shifts in the offensive zone here for Youngstown in a row.
Yes, since that timeout, you can see from the defensive side of the puck, it's turning into offense. Great lockdowns in the defensive zone is resulting in a flow on the offensive side of the puck.
Hextall wins the center ice faceoff cleanly to Tepley. Near wall for Hamilton, and Jack will bounce it just wide of the cage off the heel of the stick of Homblick, sent up the near wall. Saints can't clear. Hextall cuts to the middle, turning and firing, mostly blocked, and Homblick will usher it to the right corner. Dubuque up the far wall, redirected out to center by Josephson Westling, grabbed to the red line by Svitov, drop back for Hamilton and now Tepley, over to Hextall into the zone. Jack down the right side, spins off a check, got double teamed, trying to keep it in the zone. He did work it down the wall. McKinnon pitchforks it behind the cage to Simpson. Tried to wrap around and maybe even a centering pass for Hextall, but it wouldn't go. And Dubuque plays it out to center. Grabbed by Houston. Spins in his own zone away from the forecheck of Frank. Off of Hextall, came back to Houston. Lifted ahead to Simpson. Cooper denied getting it deep as it came to Josephson Westling. Had it back checked away by Jardine. Jards up the middle looking for a cutting Rusinski. It wouldn't go. Rue in first on the forecheck. Carries it near side. Behind him to Simpson. Cooper inside out to Rusinski. Couldn't take the pass cleanly across. Houston one-timer. That one might have hit something as it went wide. Jardine down low for Simpson in front. Houston shot was blocked. Came into the slot. Phantoms trying to back check it away. It did just escape out to center. Oh, Youngstown on the zone re-entry. I thought they had touched up, Will.
That was a little too close to call there if I was a referee. I don't know if I would have called that, but that Rusinski line, they were just wheeling the entire time in that offensive zone. They were swarming the puck, two on puck at all times in there, and that was resulting in great shots, especially from the high slot area there where Houston had a chance there, but a block there from a fighting Saint.
We're starting to see Cooper Simpson come to life a little bit. Would love to see Cooper look for his shot a little more. It'll be Rusinski to take the neutral zone draw, but that faceoff going to be won by Orpana, but it pinballs around over to Houston. to White Rabbit. He'll fire it into the zone. Comes far side. Rusinski blocked a clearing pass. Dubuque, however, able on the second effort to get it down the ice. Comes into the slot of the Youngstown end, but White Rabbit skates into it. Spins it away from Dabrowski to Houston. He's pressured by Johnson, able to keep that puck controlled. Then Johnson on a second effort took it away, but gave it right back to Houston. He's pinned to the wall by Orpana, took the puck away from him, worked it up to Richards at the point. His low shot kicked out by Trable. Rebound to Dabrowski, stripped to the puck by Rusinski. Rue carries around the cage to the far side, then sends it back to Houston near corner. Cal out to center for Jardine in the zone 1-on-3 while his teammates change behind him. Jardine just turns and fires deep. Sunda had a goal last night. His clearing attempt blocked. Second effort did get it out to center. Picked up by Murphy. Fed near wall for Anderson. He'll wheel it around the kick plate right corner. Sunda got there ahead of Sasaki. Sent back near side. Now out to center. Merrill lost his footing, but from his knees able to work it over to Richards. Bounced it just wide of the Youngstown net. Picked up off the end wall by Murphy. Skated around Barron out to center for Boost. Skate to stick across the red line and into the zone. Lenny cuts wide. Backhander through the blue paint to the far wall. Murphy pinching in for Youngstown, put it down low, but Loesch was there to take it away for the Saints. Up the near wall and out to center comes Dubuque. Cutting across the red line was Doobie, fired into the Youngstown end. Wilson with the reverse check, but Locke came away with the puck, put it down into the corner. Ekman stole the clearing attempt, and then Sasaki picked his pocket. That's a nice stick from Kaz. Out to center for Boost, and now Murphy. Carter gains the blue line and chips it deep as Sasaki and Ekman tangle at the blue line. And we're going to have a fight. The gloves are off. Sasaki and Ekman, as Ekman gets on top of him and takes down Sasaki. Really more of a hugging match than a fight. As Will, I don't know about you, I didn't see a single punch thrown.
No, it looked like they just got tangled up there and just took each other down to the ground. But yeah, Cosmo Sasaki, you want to talk about a guy that came from the BCHL this year and has been just such a fun player to watch all around. He's a skilled player, but he can play that blue-collar, gritty style of hockey whenever he wants to.
And I will tell you this, is Cosmo Sasaki fears no man.
Not at all, and especially when he's got that speed too, that he can drop the mitts with you, and then the next shift he can wheel right around you and bury a goal.
And when you get a stick tap from Brody Berard on your way off the ice, you did something right. Dropping your gloves, Brody Berard, of course, the one-punch specialist here in Youngstown.
Definitely a couple 10-9 rounds from Berard this season.
10-9, I'm thinking 10-0. Taking down, Maceo Phillips, and then one other player whose name escapes me, but Berard 2-0 on the fight card this season. 2:17 left in the first. We're going to bring the faceoff down into the Phantom zone, as that is where the puck was when the fight started. So faceoff to the right of Trable. It'll be Hesh to take the draw against Lieb. Berard pokes it free of the circle. Over to Tepley. Monte up the wall to Zemlichka. Out to the neutral zone looking for Hesh, taken away by Dubuque. We'll turn it over to Orlowski. Jesse from the red line carries into the attacking end. Fires hard off the end wall. Comes near side looking for Hesh. Came with the wall to Zemlichka. To Tepley. They score! Redirected in the slot by Jesse Orlowski. He may not know karate, but he knows kareze. Jesse Orlowski with his second goal of the weekend, fourth of the season, and Youngstown leads 1-0. Time of the goal, 18:05. Will.
And that just caught everybody by surprise. That puck just came right up the wall, and Tepley just fired. It looked like a little bit of a knuckle puck on net, and Orlowski just got a tip on it, and it snuck through the 5-hole of Votek Hombolek.
So Youngstown, again, working that forecheck in the defense, getting in on the offense, and it's great to see Mate Tepley back in the lineup after he missed those 5 games. So great to have Mate back in here. He gets rewarded for his hard work with an assist as we're back to live action. McKinnon in his own zone, near side for Houston. Ahead to the line for White Rabbit. He'll redirect it into the meshing. Out of play, neutral zone faceoff upcoming with 1:32 left in the first period. And a 1-0 Youngstown lead.
In this second half of the first period, this has been the Phantoms team that should be playing night in and night out consistently for the rest of the season.
As Hextall with a clean faceoff win to White Rabbit. D to Houston. And Cal fires it around. Came into the slot for Svitov. A blocker save. The rebound hopped over the stick of Hextall. Phantoms get it back into the blue paint. They try the wraparound. It doesn't go. White Rabbit a shot. Hamblick the save. Hextall couldn't get the shot away. Feeds it left circle. White Rabbit. Right circle. Houston. Center point. Svitov. Left circle. White Rabbit. Shot. Save. Rebound cleared. Svitov couldn't hold the zone near side with a minute left in the period. What pressure by the Phantoms, Will?
That was an unbelievable sequence of events there from, looked like Malachi McKinnon and Hextall out there.
The Saints back through center. Dabrowski puts it in the left wing corner. Triples to the back of the net for Trable. Houston spins away from the forecheck of Merrill. Comes near side, snaps it out to center for the captain. Rusinski with it, forced wide, skates past the stick check of Barron, danced around a man, carried it into the zone. Rusinski tripped up Youngstown going to the power play. 26.4 left in the period. Phantoms captain putting on the Ritz down the right wing wall. And tripping him up was number 4, Nil Sunda. Time of the penalty, 1933. Youngstown will head to their first power play of the game on the season, 27.5% second in the USHL. Kill for Dubuque, 81.3% is 7th. Phantoms on the season against Dubuque are 7 for 17. That is 41.2% on the power play. Again, 26.4 left in the period. Will go by that clock. Dubuque clears to the line off the faceoff win, kept by Wilson. Skated center point, tried to feed it over to Hextall, but pass blocked out to center by Josefson Westling. Rusinski to Simpson. Back across, bouncing in the slot, still pinballing around. Dubuque puts it over the glass, out of play with 9.8 left in the period.
And if you want to talk special teams, this is one of the top matchups in the USHL in terms of power play versus penalty kills. Phantoms second in the league in power play and penalty kill, and Dubuque first in the league in the power play unit.
Of course, last night a special teams goal for each side. As the Saints win the faceoff again, they will clear it down the length of the ice, and that will do it for the first period. Fourth goal of the season for Jesse Orlowski has given the Youngstown Phantoms a 1-0 lead at the end of 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal for the game, 11-2 in favor of Youngstown. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we will have our first intermission report here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and CityView Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Development isn't accidental, it's intentional.
USHL does it different, and the results show. This is the USHL.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Adams Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Gavelli Center for the first intermission report. At the end of 20 minutes of play, the Youngstown Phantoms lead the Dubuque Fighting Saints 1-0. Shots on goal in the first period, 11-2 in favor of Youngstown. And it might have been the 11th shot of the period that got Youngstown on the board, as at 18:05, Jesse Orlowski redirects home the shot of Monte Tepley for Orlowski, his fourth goal of the season, second of the weekend. Tepley and Ricard Zemlichka with the assists, and that may actually break a long scoring drought for Zemlichka. Yeah, his first point since February the 7th against Lincoln. 12 games without a point for Ricard Zemlichka. That streak broken here just a few moments ago. Handful of penalties, but they were from a fight. At 17:43, Melvin Ekman and Cosmos Sasaki dropped the gloves, so both of them will sit for 15 minutes. We'll see them all right around the halfway point of the second period. Then in 1934, Nils Sunda called for tripping, so Youngstown has 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining on the power play when we start this second period. Wojtek Hombolek stopped 10 out of 11. Tobias Trebel stopped 2 out of 2. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Discover Mahoning County in Northeast Ohio, where charm meets adventure. Explore stunning parks, vibrant arts, and rich history. From the scenic trails of Mill Creek Park to lively downtown Youngstown, Mahoning County has it all. Tee off at award-winning golf courses, enjoy the waters of Lake Milton, and browse charming antique shops. Indulge in local cuisine, relax at wineries and breweries, and experience unforgettable year-round events. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Mahoning County welcomes you with open arms. Plan your visit today and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit exploremahoning.com and start your adventure.
Go Phantoms and best wishes this season from KO Consulting, your community and economic development firm specializing in grants for nonprofits, small
Fans, become part of the Phantoms family to get special discounts, free parking, a reserved seat throughout the year, and more. To join the Phantoms family, call 330-747-7825 for more information.
At Texas Roadhouse, we do more than just hand-cut steaks. We have hot, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and everybody loves our fresh-baked bread with that honey cinnamon butter. The Phantoms love Texas Roadhouse, and we know you will too.
Attention fans, do not forget to grab your Chuck-a-Pucks. They are available for purchase right now in the main concourse. Get yours before the second intermission and be ready for your chance to win some good prizes. Chuck-a-Puck will be taking place after the second period. Can you make it in the Ohio Lottery Bucket?
Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling.
Fans, 50/50 raffle tickets for tonight's game are on sale now in the main concourse. Tickets are $1 each or 10 for $5. Head to the main entrance to get your tickets now.
Discover Mahoning County and Northeast Ohio where charm meets adventure. Explore stunning parks, vibrant arts, and rich history. From the scenic trails of Mill Creek Park to lively downtown Youngstown, Mahoning County has it all. Tee off at award-winning golf courses, enjoy the waters of Lake Milton, and browse charming antique shops. Indulge in local cuisine, relax at wineries and breweries, and experience unforgettable year-round events. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Mahoning County welcomes you with open arms. Plan your visit today and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit exploremahoning.com and start your adventure.
Stay up to date on when and where the Phantoms play by following our social media platforms. Find us on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and more.
Hey, you should clean your car. Nobody wants to put the lane look like that. Yeah, it's selfish. I think it's actually to head on over to Mr. Magic Car Wash.
Everyone deserves Youngstown's most premier car wash. Head on over to Mr. Magic's 5 neighborhood locations to have this car looking shiny key.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Covelli Center during the first intermission report. Youngstown leads Dubuque 1-0. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. This is the only USHL game currently underway. We do have a full slate of action, all 16 teams in action tonight, including both Team USA squads. The U17s will be hosting Fargo. That game will be getting underway in about the next 10 or 15 minutes. Lots of 7:05 Eastern starts and then a pair of 8:05 Eastern starts. One of those 7:05 starts will be Muskegon and Chicago out at Fox Valley Ice Arena as the Steel are getting ready to shut down that building. They'll be moving to the Blackhawks' new practice facility downtown, a couple blocks away from the United Center. starting next season. Waterloo and Sioux City, 7:05 puck drop. Omaha and Tri-City, 7:05 start. Sioux Falls and Lincoln, also starting at 7:05. Then we have the U18s in Madison and Green Bay at the Stable to take on the Rough Riders. Over to the NHL scoreboard. Only one game currently underway. It's at the first intermission in Minnesota, and the Rangers lead the Wild 2-0. Earlier this afternoon, the Senators shut out the Ducks 2-0. Bruins 3-2 winners over the Capitals in the shootout. Jets 3-1 winners over the Avalanche. Kyle Connor getting his 30th goal of the season. Later tonight in the NHL, 7 o'clock puck drops for the Maple Leafs and Sabres. Sharks and Canadians. Did not see if Jacob Fowler was scheduled to start that game for Montreal or not, but great to see Fowles back in the NHL as he got the win the other night. A furious final minute against the Habs, and actually it is Jakub Dobis going to start between the pipes for the Habs tonight. 7 o'clock puck drop for the Hurricanes and Lightning, Kings and Devils, Flames and Islanders. Blue Jackets and Flyers will start at 7:30 in Philadelphia. 8 p.m. start for the Red Wings and Stars in Dallas. Penguins will be in Salt Lake City to take on the Mammoth at 9 Eastern. And then 10 p.m. puck drops for the Kraken and Canucks, Blackhawks and Golden Knights. Over to the college hockey scoreboard, a huge upset in the ECAC tournament. Clarkson downs Quinnipiac 4-3 to knock Quinnipiac out of the ECAC tournament. And, depending on how things shake out, who wins conference tournaments, you may see the Bobcats on the outside looking in when it comes to the NCAA tournament. But right now the Bobcats are 10th in the computer rankings, and of course that is how they determine the field. They look at the conference champions, those are auto bids, and then they go down the list to see who made it and who didn't. And usually by the time you get to about 12 or 13, you may find yourself on the outside looking in. Continuing with the ECAC tournament, Union and Princeton scoreless after one, getting underway here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Harvard and Cornell, Colgate and Dartmouth. Over to the Hockey East tournament, UConn ends Boston University's season with a 5-3 win. UMass ends the season of Northeastern, the Minutemen, with the 4-1 win, as those two teams will head on to the semifinals of the Hockey East tournament, and Merrimack and Providence getting underway here in the next 10 minutes. Over the CCHA tournament, Augustana and St. Thomas tied at 1 halfway through the third period. Single game semifinals there in the CCHA. Michigan Tech and Minnesota State getting underway at 8 Eastern. 9 minutes left in the third in Ann Arbor. Michigan leads Penn State 3-2 as we are in single elimination semifinals in the Big Ten tournament. Ohio State and Michigan getting underway at 7:30 Eastern. Ohio State swept Michigan State, I think about, 2-3 weeks ago, Will?
Indeed, yes, and it's East Lansing that weekend, yep.
It was in East Lansing, indeed. Robert Morris trying to keep their season alive, trying to force a Game 3 tomorrow. They lead Sacred Heart 4-3, and we have best of 3 semifinals here in the Atlantic Hockey Tournament. Bentley leads Holy Cross 1-0. Michael Messick, former Phantom, scored late in the third period to force overtime, and then Bentley ended up getting the win over Holy Cross last night, so they can eliminate the Crusaders here with a win tonight. And then later tonight, single elimination semifinals in the NCHC Tournament. Denver against Western Michigan out in Colorado. Minnesota Duluth travels to North Dakota to take on the Fighting Hawks. That'll do it for our out-of-town scoreboard and our second intermission report. Back in 60 seconds for the start of the second period. Youngstown will be on the power play here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
When your cable internet slows down, your life slows down. You fall a step behind. Introducing Fiber Home Internet from T-Mobile with the bandwidth you need and upload speeds that won't slow down. With fiber, you'll be a step ahead. Really, really ahead. T-Mobile Fiber, starting at just $55 a month with a 5-year price guarantee.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Covelli Center for the start of the second period. Matt Lipsack and Will Craven here with you. Phantoms with a 1-0 lead. They have 1:34 left on a power play. Nils Sunda in the box for a trip. Forgot to mention during the out-of-town scoreboard, Italy upsets Puerto Rico in the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic. Well, I guess quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic. And they will go on to play the winner of Japan and Venezuela. Can't wait to watch that USA-Dominican Republic game tomorrow with Paul Skeens on the hill. You can roll for initiative as the second period is underway. Dubuque won the draw, but Youngstown able to take it away, and they'll carry back in their own zone to set up the breakout for the power play. 1:20 left on that advantage. Wilson to Rusinski, drop back to Wilson, across to Simpson. Cooper gains the red line and the blue into the zone down the left wing wall. Fights through a check. Sends it over to Jardine. Back to Simpson, carries up to the line. Sends it to Hextall in the left circle. Side of the cage for Rusinski to Hextall. To the line for Simpson. Cooper down the far wall, cycles with Hextall. Jack with it now across the top of the right circle for Wilson. Left circle, Simpson. Across Hextall to Rusinski. Couldn't touch it home on the weak side. Simpson below the cage for Rusinski. Double teamed, able to work it to Jardine. Up the wall to Wilson with 35 on the power play. Came to Simpson, his cross-ice pass for Hextall off the skates of Josephson Westling and down into the Youngstown end. Fans quickly back into the zone for Simpson. Touch behind him to Rusinski. Across one-timer, Jardine kicked out by Hombolek. They're going to say that one stayed in play as that one went up above the top of the meshing but somehow came straight back down without touching the meshing. Hextall, Jardine, fanned on the shot. Jardine just barely held the zone, but Josephson Westling able to send it back out to center. Youngstown back on the attack. Hextall to the line for Wilson. To Hextall, across Simpson. Shot was blocked, and Lee broke his stick trying to clear, and he's going to turn and just whip it with the glove. Legal hand pass in the defensive zone as Hextall can't hold the line, and he's forced back out to the neutral zone. Sends it to open ice, far side. Rusinski with one hand on his stick, sweeps it in the zone and hustles off for a line change. Besnier out to center for Locke. Trying to cut to the middle, but Houston, great defense, forced him below the goal line. Loose puck grabbed by Hesh, worked up the middle to White Rabbit, and from his knees able to feed Zemlichka, and now Orlowski. Orlowski behind him, Hesh, shot missed the cage. Off the corner glass, it came to Locke. Quickly out to center for Barron. Couldn't work his way past Houston. The puck into the left wing corner. Fed up to the line, Lofton a shot. Pad save, Trable, big rebound. Merrill back toward the cage. Pass was blocked, came back to Houston. Shot was blocked, rebound, still loose. Edge of the blue paint, came back in front. Covered by Trable. Pushing and shoving ensues after the whistle linesman in to quickly get things separated. And Will, Youngstown not credited with a shot there on that minute 34 of the power play, but that doesn't mean it wasn't without opportunity.
Oh, no, for sure. And they were kind of working this kind of hybrid style power play. They were working into a 1-3-1, and then Wilson on the far side would go back up to the point. It would be a 2-2-1, and then Rusinski, as always, sticking to that backside pipe as we've seen time in and time out this year on the power play with those tap-in goals.
Now, back years ago, I remember the Phantoms would always work that play to perfection. Eric Esposito would be the one on the weak side post. We're throwing it back there.
That's a great throwback name.
As off the faceoff shot is redirected into the meshing and out of play. 17:22 left in this second period. Phantoms with the 1-0 lead. Faceoff to the right of Trable, draws one by Orpana, but Youngstown gets control. White Rabbit around the wall to Svitov at center. across, looking for Hextall. Pass was behind him, grabbed by Berard, and sent into the offensive zone. Svitov trying to cut around his man, but puck taken away by the Saints. Lofton up the near wall. Dabrowski able to feed it out to center. Into the zone comes Johnson. Drops it back for Dabrowski. Couldn't get a shot away now. Did get the backhander. Trable with the save, and he covers. Had a man right there pitchforking for that puck, but Trable able to hold the fort. And as you see on the screen as you're watching on Flow Hockey, Phantoms have already clinched a playoff spot, so keep an eye on Phantoms' social media channels for updates on playoff game dates and times, and of course ticket availability. You can always call the Phantoms box office for more information through 30747-PUCK, through 307-477-7825. Face off to the right of Trable, controlled by the Saints. Right point for Sunda. His shot off the heel of his stick. Loose puck grabbed by Anderson and out to center, but couldn't connect with Boos. Sunda ahead to the line for Frank. Frank blew past Tepley and carries it to the right wing corner. Turns and cycles back down low, around to the near side for Lieb. Chip down low looking for Kritsky, the defenseman, in on the play. Might be up playing forward as Dubuque is short a body up front here tonight. Out to the right point for Frank. His shot to the blocker of Trable, punch to the right wing corner. Back up the wall, trying to feed Frank, but picked off by Youngstown and forced out to center by Cooper Simpson. Puck quickly back out to center. Orlowski to Boos, taken away by the Saints, and back to the line. Hamilton able to take it away and feed Simpson. Cooper lugging ahead, duck to the middle. Simpson, a shot, he lifted it over the crossbar. Murphy holds the line. Bank down low for Simpson. Quickly across to Orlowski. Pass was behind him and out to center. Oh, Cooper had some zip on that pass. And, of course, second night in a row we've seen Cooper put on the Ritz and cut to the cage. But just to get denied by Hombolek. Phantoms feed it down low. Off of Zemlichka. It comes to the near wall, far wall, rather. Orlowski in front looking for Hesh. Pass broken up and out to center. Wilson and Murphy hustling back into their own zone for it, and it's Murphy leaving it in the left corner for Wilson. Chipped up the near wall, Orlowski back toward his own goal line for Wilson. Spins off a check. Still has it now behind the net. Phantoms carrying ahead, that is Orlowski. Far side looking for Murphy, no icing here as it rolls into the left wing corner. First one there is Brierly, send it up the wall to Merrill and touch to Dabrowski. Into the Youngstown zone, bounced off a check, lost the puck to McKinnon. Phantoms poke it up the far wall. Line was kept by Brierly. His shot missed the cage. Off the corner glass, kept in play at the left point by Richards. Fed back behind the cage, came around to the right corner. Phantom getting hooked and held on the play, trying to get that puck. Nothing called. Phantom's able to fish it out and get it out to center. Back on the attack is Merrill. Great steal by Carter Murphy to send the puck back out to the neutral zone. McKinnon picked it up in front of the benches, fed it over to White Rabbit. Ryan to open ice, but couldn't link up with McKinnon. It'll squirt down to Besnier. D to Brierly and out to the neutral zone. Dubuque back on the attack. Josephson Westling across to Johnson. His shot off the pad of Trable. Rebound out to center. Besnier. D over to Lofton. Fired back into the zone. Around to the right side off of Dabrowski. Bounced off a check, but lost the puck. Hextall skates through a couple of stick checks, but lost the puck at center. Pass across looking for Dabrowski from his knees. Able to poke it away from McKinnon. Malachi able to regather and work it deep, but Hombolek right there fed it over to Besnier, who then ripped down Svitov, but legal hits there, and then Besnier with a little extra. Luke Stork says, play on, boys, but offside on the zone entry are the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Will have immediate timeout. 13:36 left in the second. Youngstown leads 1-0. Listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Discover Mahoning County and Northeast Ohio, where charm meets adventure. Explore stunning parks, vibrant arts, and rich history. From the scenic trails of Mill Creek Park to lively downtown Youngstown, Mahoning County has it all. Tee off at award-winning golf courses, enjoy the waters of Lake Milton, and browse charming antique shops. Indulge in local cuisine, relax at wineries and breweries, and experience unforgettable year-round events. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Mahoning County welcomes you with open arms. Plan your visit today and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit exploremahoning.com and start your adventure.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
.13:36 left in the second. Youngstown leads 1-0. Shots on goal for the game. 12-7 in favor of Youngstown. Fighting Saints out shooting Youngstown 5-1 here in the opening 6:24 of this second period. Saints controlled the draw, but Lofton stripped of the puck by Houston, back into his own zone. Left it for White Rabbit, fed it up the far wall. Frank couldn't hold the zone for Dubuque. Puck out to center, taken by Besnier. Over to Lofton, D-to-D, back to Besnier. Head to the Youngstown line, chipped into the right wing corner. Frank got there first, ahead of White Rabbit. Ryan will spin him over to the wall while Rusinski comes in to help battle for that puck. Pried free of the scrum by Houston. Lost it at the side of the cage as he tried to step around. His body still tangled up. Referee saying, get up and play on, boys. Puck out to center. Youngstown 3-on-2 if they hurry. Jardine to Simpson. Rusinski turns, fires. Humblick the save. Rebound couldn't bounce in, and it's iced by the Fighting Saints. Back to draw the icing whistle is Jack Hamilton. And Ryan Rusinski just half turning his body and whipping that one on the cage. Phantoms almost got a lucky bounce at the side of the net.
That was really impressive, being able to find that angle for the position he was in. But these refs are really letting these guys go tonight. A lot of tangle-ups so far with not a lot of calls, especially there at the end of that shift where Jardine was tangled up in that net front battle with that rebound sitting right there.
Wearing the orange armband tonight, Miroslav Yarts and Luke Stork. Face off to the left of Homblick. Lieb to take the draw against Rusinski. Kicked free of the circle by Lieb, and puck bounced out to center by Doobie. Hamilton to Simpson. Had to put down Xavier Lieb as the puck came across to Rusinski. Across to Jardine. Couldn't take it cleanly. Came to Simpson. Fanned on the shot. Probably should have been a hook on the Saints as it's fired ahead looking for Gavin Locke. But out to play it away was Trable. He put it off of Locke, but luckily the puck rolled into the corner. Jardine trying to get away from Michael Barron. He will work it to center as the puck put out of play from center ice by Youngstown. And, Will, you just mentioned it, they were letting them play, but the chippiness is picking up, the little extra hold, the little extra hook, the little extra slash. Somebody's got to get called here soon if these referees don't want to lose control of this game. And I know as a little bit of a wild man yourself when you're on the ice, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, for sure. And they could have called one of those penalties there with that trip and that hook there. On either team, that really would have probably settled down the chippiness here in the next couple of minutes.
Puck out to center, chip just into the Youngstown zone. Murphy able to wedge it away from the Saints over to Wilson, and they're going to say touched it center by Dubuque, so no icing on this one as Homblick sends it up the far wall. Found Dabrowski at the line and out to the neutral zone, looking for Johnson, able to corral a bouncing puck and put it into the right wing corner, taken right back by Youngstown, but couldn't connect on a clearing pass. Dabrowski, right point for Richards. His half slapper blocked away by Boos. Rebound to the left side, and shot fired wide by Brierly. Here it's Richardson on the play. Centering feed, but just under the stick of Kane Johnson and down into the Youngstown zone. Phantoms heading to a line change. Brierly back for it. Turns and fires out to center. Grabbed at the red line, and a big hit thrown there by Orlowski against Johnson as the Phantoms will bring the puck ahead from their offensive zone. It's Zemlichka with speed. Zemlichka, left corner, now around the cage near side. Tried to feed the point, but Tepley had vacated the wall, and the puck all the way down the ice. Trable spins it right corner for White Rabbit. Under immediate pressure, turned it over. White Rabbit took his man down behind the cage. Play continues. Besnier pinching in on the play for Dubuque, but it's Orlowski winning that puck battle along the far wall. Out to center off of Zemlichka, he found Hesh. Jakub into the zone, one-on-one. Toe drag around him in. Hesh couldn't wrap it around the outstretched right leg of Hombolek. What a move by Jakub Hesh, everything but the finish. Puck back out to center. Zemlichka ahead to Hesh to open ice. Orlowski couldn't get to it in time ahead of Besnier. Besnier to Lofton up the middle, kept by Hextall, but he couldn't feed Zemlichka. Puck back out to center. Tepley dumps it back in behind the cage. Lofton the first one to it. Up the near side for Barron. Banked it off the wall to himself as he got run over by Hextall. Phantoms into the zone for McKinnon. McKinnon spins at the top of the left circle. Feeds Tepley. Down low, trying to connect on Hextall with a pass. Broken up by Barron, who was down on his knees. Now it's ahead for Lieb into the Youngstown zone, but great defensive work by Youngstown. Hextall couldn't bump it to Svitov coming into the offensive end. Back to Tepley. Couldn't find Hextall at center. Locke forced it back into the Youngstown zone. Grabbed by Houston. Carried around the net to the near side. Out to the neutral zone for Svitov. Alexander, red line in blue into the Dubuque end. Put it behind the net. First one there was Doobie. Around the wall, kept to left point by Houston. To Hextall. Cuts to the middle. Turning and firing. Ripped it wide. Might have gone off a Dubuque stick. Frank to the rebound. Up the far wall and out to center off of Doobie. Svitov, however, chipped it away from a Dubuque stick as Hextall takes a bump up high from Doobie, and the puck rolls into the Dubuque end. Skated into by Lieb and dropped back for Loesch. Back over to Lieb. Played to the line for Frank. Up ahead for Kritsky into the attacking zone. Dubuque with it. Turning and cycling down low was Loesch. Came around to the far side. Only one there is Hextall. Bumped down low for Wilson. D over to Houston. Out to the neutral zone for McKinnon. Redirected into the zone to Simpson. Cooper in the zone 1-on-5 while the team changes behind him. Cooper left it in the right corner. There's Jardine. Jardine up the near wall. Cross point Murphy, turning, firing, hit Rusinski right in front. Poked back to the line for Murphy. Over to Simpson. Cooper, right circle. Pressured heavily by Richards, who ices the puck. Down to draw the icing whistle, Jack Wilson with 8:15 left in this second period. Youngstown leads 1-0. Last, I believe, 3 shots here in the game belong to Youngstown. Shot counter now reads 14-7. In favor of Youngstown. Faceoff will be to the left of Hombolek. Rusinski to take the draw against Orpana. Rusinski with the faceoff win, but big mass of humanity as Dubuque really just turns faceoffs into rugby scrums more often than not, and just kind of relies on luck to get those faceoff wins. Here it's out to Richards. His shot high and wide. Murphy to the rebound in the left corner. Sent up the middle looking for Simpson, but taken away by the Saints. Orpana carries around the net to the near side. Feeds the left point to Brierly. D to Sunda into the left circle looking for Dabrowski. He was hit from behind right as the puck came to him. And Wilson will play it out to Murphy. Ahead to the line for Rusinski. Rue trying to cut to the middle, draw another tripping call. Ref's not having that one as he'll put it into the corner for Jardine. Fed the line to White Rabbit. D to Berard. His shot hit Rusinski in the circle and went wide. Rebound to Brierly. Jardine kept the line. Taken away from behind by Loesch, then taken right back by Hesh, but Barron able to chip it down the ice. Trable way out to the above the dot to play it out to center. Will, how do you feel about your goaltender wandering out that far?
I've gotten pretty used to it. You know, Connor Mold always, coming out to like the high part of the circle every time I'm out on the ice, setting a puck to the far blue line. But
back into the zone is Booth with a shot. Humblick the save, and he covers. And we'll have a media timeout. 6:49 left in the second. Youngstown leads 1-0. You're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Back inside the Gavelli Center, 6:49 left in the second. Phantoms lead 1-0. Goal in the final 2 minutes of the first period to Jesse Orlowski. Joined here by Will Craven. Will, a senior at Poland High School, forward for the Canton Akron Jets. And Will, have you gotten over the heartbreak of losing the Buckeye Cup yet?
Yeah, it took a few days, but, at the end of it, it was just an amazing ride, with that group of guys, being able to come out with 42 wins on a season like that and make it to the very end. It was an overtime game, 10 minutes in. It was a great ride, but props to the Dayton Stealth. They're a great team ran by an awesome coach there down at Dayton. They deserve all of the respect after achieving that feat as a 4 seed in that tournament.
Back to live action. Merrill played it to his own line. Anderson couldn't hold the zone. Merrill regains it at center, trying to dance around White Rabbit. Couldn't do it. Ryan forced him into the right wing corner, then takes him to the end wall. Boost coming in to help out his defenseman. Puck left in the left corner. Played the line. Lofton couldn't hold the zone, and he will send it over to Besnier. To Lofton in their own end. Fired ahead, looking for a man at center. They're going to say there was a tip in the neutral zone, so no icing, as Berard grabs it in the far corner. Sent back near side for White Rabbit. He'll pitchfork it up the wall to Sasaki. Retreats into his own end. Almost lost the puck. White Rabbit there to cover up and bounce it to the red line. Grabbed by Richards. Couldn't enter the zone as Frank was ahead of the play. And now it's Frank with it. Pass along the line. Shot to the cage off the chest of Trable. And he will snatch it with the trapper and hold. 5:43 left in the second.
And there may have to be a penalty called here this year. I'm starting to see a lot of extracurriculars on the ice during play that aren't even relatively near the play of the puck, that is really just taking some of the guys out of the play that's not necessary.
And Will, it's not just that. It's, the guy with the puck, hacking, slashing, holding. Yards and Stork need to, call something here. You just don't want to see somebody get hurt. As Youngstown wins the defensive zone drop, they can't find a man at center. Dubuque coming back in. Frank, top of the left circle. And he will start the cycle, fed it down low. Fighting St. tripped on the side of the net. That might have been Ekman, as I believe he and Sasaki is back on the ice for Youngstown, so those two serve their 15-minute for their first period fight. And here Youngstown plays it out to center. Orlowski dropped it back to Tepley. Into the zone. Behind him to Orlowski. Jesse turning, firing shot on the cage. Homblick with the save. Rebound cleared back to Orlowski. Across, Tepley in the slot. Drops it back to the line for Hamilton. Across to Hesh. Spins away from Josephson Westling. Cross point to Tepley. Eyes the cage. Across, Hamilton. Half slapper on the cage. Homblick with the save. Hamilton pinch, trying to keep it in the zone. Dubuque able to clear the puck, but couldn't make Youngstown pay for the pinch of Hamilton. Phantoms back on the attack. Hextall cuts to the middle to Orlowski, put it wide of the cage. Jesse got to his own rebound, sent it up the far side to Hextall. Jack across, sends it right corner for Murphy, pinching it on the play. Murphy battling in the right corner, worked it to Hextall. Carter will skate back to the blue line, send it up the near wall. Josephson Westling took it away, bumped it behind him to Orpana, who squirts ahead to center. Orpana, left circle, watched by Murphy. Fed it to the side of the net. Trable will throw the trapper on top of it and hold with 4:08 left in this second period.
And Jesse Orlowski had another great shift down there in the offensive zone, and the majority of the Phantoms' chances have come just from simple play and screening the goalie. A lot of redirections that haven't gone their way, but they're making it happen down in the low end of the offensive zone.
And, Will, Jesse Orlowski, the last 3 weeks, looks like he's been shot out of a cannon.
Oh, easily. And those are the type of guys that, don't have a lot of points, but in the end of the season, the way he's playing, he's going to be a major contribution to this team in a playoff run.
As a half-slapper one-timer from center point off the stick of Kane Johnson, gloved easily by Trable and held no traffic in front on that slow-developing play off the face-off win. Face off to the right of Trable, 4:02 left in the second. Here Youngstown wins the draw. Murphy cuts in front of the cage and fires it out to center. No icing on this one. McKinnon wins the race. Homblick roaming far out of the blue paint. Worked it up the far wall, but Hextall couldn't get it back to the net mouth, and Johnson played it out to center for Dubuque. Hextall turned it right over to Johnson, who fires into the Youngstown end. Trable near side to Hextall, up the middle to McKinnon, and out to center for Svitov. Up the far wall, chipped it into Doobie, who played it back out to the neutral zone. Hextall bumping Dabrowski, but Dubuque still with the puck, and coming into the zone is Johnson. Swings to the near side, back to the line for Besnier, and then back to Johnson. Top of the circle, turning, firing, was blocked by Svitov into the corner. Grabbed by Murphy, and up the middle to McKinnon. Malachi gained center red before he was ripped down from behind by Besnier, and then Svitov came in to clean up that play. As Wilson knocks the stick away from Dabrowski, and a penalty upcoming on the play as holding will be the call, as I did not see anything even remotely resembling a penalty on the play. Malachi McKinnon heading to the sin bin.
It looks like they might have got McKinnon there in the neutral zone in an open ice battle. And out of all the plays that have happened tonight, especially with the amount of hits and the numbers, I don't know if that's a call that I would have made if I was an official.
As if what I just saw happen there at center ice on the replay is the penalty that they're calling, I mean, that's a one-on-one battle with the puck right there, Will.
Yeah, you can see McKinnon was trying to be sneaky about that hold, and that's a real subtle call there by the officials.
Dubuque on the power play, 28.2% first in the USHL. Youngstown on the kill, 83.8% is second. Dubuque on the power play against Youngstown, 3 for 14, which is 21.4% is here. Rusinski gets a steal and a clear after Dubuque won the faceoff to start the advantage for them. Time of the penalty, the 17-minute mark. Barron over to Frank and into the zone. Ran a give and go with Orpana, but puck taken away by Youngstown. Cleared the line. Nice keep by Besnier. Sent over to Merrill, right circle. To Barron. Right hash marks up to the point for Besnier. To Frank. To Orpana. They tried to feed it to the back door. Broken up by a down low defenseman here. They tried to feed one through the box. It's picked off by Hesh and backhanded down the ice. 1:05 and less remaining on the holding call to Malachi McKinnon. Homblick sets it up for Besnier. Carries up the near side. Hextall looking for a stick lift. Did pitchfork it away from him and then ripped it down the ice. I think a penalty upcoming here on Dubuque. And that is indeed the case, as Hextall drew an interference call. Besnier does not like it, but that will take care of the rest of the Dubuque power play. We'll skate 4-on-4 for 49 seconds, and then Youngstown will have exactly a minute of power play time before this second period expires. So faceoff will be in the Dubuque end, and time of the penalty on Besnier, 18-11.
And that looked like one of those trade-off calls that may settle down the Dubuque Fighting Saints a bit, giving themselves a chance at the power play, and then, you know, a play like that, giving them a penalty for it, might settle them down with the chippiness.
And Will, Ryan Ward is looking at the tablet and talking to Miroslav Yaritz. He wants a review for a major, as there might have been some head contact. So we're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. We'll let you know on the other side of the break. 1:49 left in the second. Youngstown leads 1-0. You're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
When your cable internet slows down, your life slows down. You fall a step behind. Introducing Fiber Home Internet from T-Mobile with the bandwidth you need and upload speeds that won't slow down. With fiber, you'll be a step ahead. Really, really ahead. T-Mobile Fiber, starting at just $55 a month with a 5-year price guarantee.
You got
got so much to do. It's got you feeling blue. Put a little play in your day. 'Cause there's fun all over the state. So come on. Great games wait for you and me. The Ohio Lottery. Put a little play in your day. Put a little play in your day.
Think back to the beginning. That first game. That first jersey. That first moment when you knew you'd found your place. What you wear today started with a feeling. A feeling that changed everything. NHL Shop, a Fanatics experience.
At Texas Roadhouse, we do more than just hand-cut steaks. We have hot, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and everybody loves our fresh-baked bread with that honey cinnamon butter. The Phantoms love Texas Roadhouse, and we know you will too.
I'm Jarrett, owner of Pineapple POS. The same hardware that powers the Cavelli Center can power your business too. With free hardware, local service, and tools to eliminate your credit card processing fees. Visit pineapplepos.com.
Go Phantoms and best wishes this season from KO Consulting, your community and economic development firm specializing in grants for nonprofits, small business, and governments.
Fans, become part of the Phantoms family to get special discounts, free parking, a reserved seat throughout the year, and more. To join the Phantoms family, call 330-747-7825 for more information.
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling.
Adams Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Development isn't accidental, it's intentional. The USHL does it different, and the results show. This is the USHL.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Phantoms' challenge was unsuccessful. They were looking for a slew foot, and frankly, to me, it looked pretty clear-cut. The officials did not see it that way, so Phantoms' challenge unsuccessful. Youngstown loses their timeout, but we will stay at 4-on-4. Dubuque won the draw, but taken away by Murphy. He'll carry it out to center. Trades it off to Hesh. Drop back to Murphy. Has to quickly dance around Frank. Floats it to open ice for Tepley. Tepley dropped it back. Trable will come out to the hash marks to set it up for Murphy. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And Youngstown will be on the power play for the final minute of this period. Murphy across to Hesh and into the zone. Hesh tried to cut to the middle. Nice stick by Lofton. Lofton carried it to the corner. 10 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Puck still loose. Grabbed by Murphy. 4 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Murphy cuts the middle, turning, firing off the crossbar! And Phantoms back to full strength. They're on the power play. Kritsky skates it ahead through center and fired into the Youngstown zone, right to the stick of Wilson. 45 seconds left in the period. We'll go by that clock. Kritsky clears it down the ice again. Carter Murphy inches away from putting Youngstown ahead 2-0. Instead, there's 30 seconds left in the period. Wilson to Rusinski, out to center. Rue into the zone, over to Jardine. Back to the line for Wilson, top of the left circle. Simpson eyes the cage. Shot was blocked into the corner by Richards. 15 to Wilson. Shot was blocked by Richards. Loose puck grab, cleared to the line. Wilson couldn't find it. It's out to center with 6. Simpson at the red line's got to go. Gives it to Jardine. Fires a full slapper. Homblick will shut it down. And that is how the second period will end. No scoring in the middle frame. Youngstown still leads 1-0. Shots on goal for the game, 17-10 in favor of Youngstown. Dubuque outshoots Youngstown 8-6 in the second period. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we will have the second intermission report here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
You got so much to do, it's got you feeling blue. Put a little play in your day, 'cause it's fun all over the state. So come on, great games wait for you and me, the Ohio Lottery. Put a little play in your day. Put a little play in your day.
When your cable internet slows down, your life slows down. You fall a step behind. Introducing Fiber Home Internet from T-Mobile with the bandwidth you need and upload speeds that won't slow down. With fiber, you'll be a step ahead. Really, really ahead. T-Mobile Fiber, starting at just $55 a month with a 5-year price guarantee.
Hey, you should clean your car. Nobody wants to put the ring look like that. Yeah, it's off it. I think it's actually to head on over to Mr. Magic Car Wash.
Everyone deserves Youngstown's most premier car wash. Head on over to Mr. Magic's 5 neighborhood locations to have this car looking shiny key.
At Texas Roadhouse, we do more than just hand-cut steaks. We have hot, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and everybody loves our fresh-baked bread with that honey cinnamon butter. The Phantoms love Texas Roadhouse, and we know you will too.
I'm Jarrett, owner of Pineapple POS. The same hardware that powers the Cavelli Center can power your business too, with free hardware, local service, and tools to eliminate your credit card processing fees. Visit pineapplepos.com.
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red, Price Heating and Cooling.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Gavelli Center for the second intermission report. At the end of 40 minutes of play, the Youngstown Phantoms lead the Dubuque Fighting Saints 1-0. Shots on goal for the game, 17-10 in favor of Youngstown. Dubuque outshot Youngstown 8-6 in the second period, but only goal of the game came at 18:05 of the first. Jesse Orlowski scoring on the redirect. Monte Tepley and Ricard Zemlichka with the assists. Just two penalties in that second period. Malachi McKinnon called for holding at the 17-minute mark. Teo Besnier called for interference at 18:11. Youngstown challenged that play, looking for a major penalty. Looked to me like Besnier had a pretty clear slew foot on Jack Hextall. Officials did not see it that way, so Youngstown loses their timeout. They did end up going on the power play after we skated at 4-on-4 for 49 seconds. Phantoms unable to score. Carter Murphy hit the post, I think, right as that power play was starting. So inches away from a 2-0 Youngstown lead, but alas, it is 1-0 Phantoms. And Youngstown will be on the power play for 11 seconds when we start the third period. Phantom power play 0 for 2. They're in the middle of that second power play right now. Dubuque power play 0 for 1. Wojtek Hombolek has stopped 16 out of 17. Tobias Trebel has stopped 10 out of 10. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here for you on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Stay up to date on when and where the Phantoms play by following our social media platforms. Find us on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and more.
Veterans. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veteran Service Commission, serving those
Phantoms and best wishes this season from KO Consulting, your community and economic development firm specializing in grants for nonprofits, small business, and governments.
Fans, 50/50 raffle tickets for tonight's game are on sale now in the main concourse. Tickets are $1 each or 10 for $5. Head to the main entrance to get your tickets now.
I'm Jarrett, owner of Pineapple POS. The same hardware that powers the Cavelli Center can power your business too, with free hardware, local service, and tools to eliminate your credit card processing fees. Visit pineapplepos.com.
Stay up to date on when and where the Phantoms play by following our social media platforms. Find us on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and more.
Phantom fans, get ready to score big flavor. Annie Ann's is serving up hot hand-rolled happiness all season long. Whether you go classic salted or sweet cinnamon sugar, every pretzel is a power play. So when the final horn sounds, head to Annie Ann's at Southern Park Mall or Eastwood Mall and treat yourself to the snack that always wins in OT. Let's go, Phantoms!
Development isn't accidental, it's intentional. The USHL does it different, and the results show. This is the USHL.
Your life slows down. You fall a step behind. Introducing Fiber Home Internet from T-Mobile with the bandwidth you need and upload speeds that won't slow down. With fiber, you'll be a step ahead. Really, really ahead. T-Mobile Fiber, starting at just $55 a month with a 5-year price guarantee.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia One Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia One Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia One Network, your sports app in the Valley.
Fans, become part of the Phantoms family to get special discounts, free parking, a reserved seat throughout the year, and more. To join the Phantoms family, call 330-747-7825 for more information.
Western Reserve Radio is the home of the Youngstown Phantoms. Be sure to call 330-747-PUCK for ticket information or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Cavelli Center during the second intermission report. Phantoms lead Dubuque 1-0. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 3 minutes into the second period at USA Hockey Arena, the Fargo Force lead the U17s 2-1. Scoreless at the first intermission between Muskegon and Chicago at Fox Valley Ice Arena. Tied at 1 at the end of 1 at the Tyson Event Center between the Sioux City Musketeers and the Waterloo Blackhawks. Tri-City leads Omaha 1-0 at the first intermission in Kearney. Sioux Falls with a 1-0 lead over Lincoln at the first intermission at the Ice Box. And then getting underway in about 15 minutes will be the U18s and the Madison Capitals, Green Bay Gamblers, and the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. Over to the NHL scoreboard, second intermission in Minnesota. The Rangers now lead the Wild 4-1. Final minute of the first in Buffalo. The Maple Leafs and Sabres tied at 1. Sharks and Habs tied at 1. 4 minutes left in the first. First intermission in Tampa. The Hurricanes lead the Lightning 2-0. Devils lead the Kings by the same score at the Rock in Newark. Islanders up 3-0 on the Flames first intermission. And about halfway through the first in Philadelphia, Blue Jackets up 1-0 on the Flyers. Over to the college hockey scoreboard. Merrimack and Providence tied at 1. First intermission in the Hockey East quarterfinals. Cornell leads Harvard 2-0. First intermission in the ECAC tournament. Dartmouth up 1-0 on Colgate. Union and Princeton tied at 1. All three of those games the first intermission. St. Thomas knocks off Augustana 2-1. They'll play in the CCHA tournament final. I believe that'll be next weekend. And then getting underway in the next 15 minutes will be Minnesota State and Michigan Tech. Michigan, the top team in the country, but the number 2 seed in the Big Ten. They beat Penn State in the semifinal 5-2. And right now, halfway through the first, Ohio State and Michigan State tied at 1. Robert Morris with a 5-2 lead on Sacred Heart with 3 minutes left in regulation. Colonials looking to force a Game 3. And actually, that game has now gone final. Robert Morris has forced Game 3 tomorrow against the Pioneers. Bentley with a 2-0 lead on Holy Cross halfway through the third. Minnesota Duluth leads North Dakota 2-0. 5 minutes left in the first, and Western Michigan and Denver getting underway in the next 10 minutes. That'll do it for our out-of-town scoreboard and our second intermission report. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, Phantoms have 11 seconds left on the power play here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey.
Development isn't accidental, it's intentional. The USHL does it different, and the results show. This is the USHL.
Veterans, the Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission is here to help you. Whether you served 5 years ago or 50 years ago, if you are honorably discharged from active military service, you may be eligible for benefits, including Veterans VA benefits, county financial assistance, assisted living benefits, and more. Our friendly and supportive staff is ready to help you. Go to mcveterans.org to see all of the benefits and services offered, or call today. The Mahoning County Veterans Service Commission, serving those who have served.
Adams Tree Preservation provides the highest quality residential, municipal, and commercial tree and plant health care services to the Mahoning Valley. Our team of certified arborists and licensed crane operators have been elevating tree care in the valley since 2013, using state-of-the-art industry equipment and practices. Contact us today for a no-charge estimate.
Discover Mahoning County and Northeast Ohio, where charm meets adventure. Explore stunning parks, vibrant arts, and rich history. From the scenic trails of Mill Creek Park to lively downtown Youngstown, Mahoning County has it all. Tee off at award-winning golf courses, enjoy the waters of Lake Milton, and browse charming antique shops. Indulge in local cuisine, relax at wineries and breweries, and experience unforgettable year-round events. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Mahoning County welcomes you with open arms. Plan your visit today and create memories that will last a lifetime. Visit exploremahoning.com and start your adventure.
Phantom fans, get ready to score big flavor. Annie Ann's is serving up hot hand-rolled happiness all season long. Whether you go classic salted or sweet cinnamon sugar, every pretzel is a power play. So when the final horn sounds, head to Annie Ann's at Southern Park Mall or Eastwood Mall and treat yourself to the snack that always wins in OT. Let's go, Phantoms.
Price Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial HVAC company proud to serve the Mahoning Valley since 1937.
As an award-winning Carrier Factory authorized dealer, Price Heating and Cooling exhibits the exceptional standards, knowledge, and service you deserve. Is your home ready for warmer weather? Call today to learn about our financing options with approved credit on new air conditioning systems. And all of our pricing is upfront with no hidden fees.
Turn to your experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling.
At Texas Roadhouse, we do more than just hand-cut steaks. We have hot, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and everybody loves our fresh-baked bread with that honey cinnamon butter. The Phantoms love Texas Roadhouse, and we know you will too.
Someone's got to set the tone out there, boys. Someone's got to set it.
The station that sets the tone for Youngstown Phantoms hockey is Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
We now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Welcome back inside the Gavelli Center for the start of the third period. Phantoms lead Dubuque 1-0. First period goal for Jesse Orlowski. 11 seconds left on a power play for Youngstown. Teo Besnier in the box for interference. Rusinski to take the draw against Merrill. And you can roll for initiative as the third period is underway. Simpson into the attacking end, put it into the right wing corner. 5 seconds left in the power play. Sent around to the left point, kept by Wilson. Down the wall to Rusinski. Left circle, a shot. Homblick the save. Rebound over to the far wall. Out of the box is Besnier. Jardine bumped it over to the near wall, but out to center. Drops it back for Murphy in his own end. Out to center was looking for Simpson, would not go. And Youngstown guilty of an ice. 27 seconds into this third period, which is presented by Mercy Health.
And I just received word that brother of Ryan Rusinski, Chris Rusinski, and St. Ignatius have advanced to the OHSAA state final down at Nationwide Arena for tomorrow.
Congratulations to the St. Ignatius squad. Dubuque wins the offensive zone draw, fired down into the left corner by Brierly. Up the wall to Dabrowski. Put it back into the corner for Urpana. Bodied up by Wilson. Came up the wall to Jardine. He'll put it off the window and out to center. McKinnon knocked Brierly off the puck. He'll carry into the zone. Check that Simpson fed it through the low slot, but Rusinski had come to the near post. Puck out to center, and back in the attacking end is Urpana. Carries around the net. Fed it into the blue paint off a couple of sticks. Trable throws the trapper on top of it.
And ever since the second period, it seems like Dubuque's game plan has just been attacking the net and just getting those loose rebounds in front and trying to bury one home. But Trable's done an excellent job just keeping it out of the crease here tonight.
So face off to the right of Trable. Hextall to take the draw against Ekman. Hextall wins the draw cleanly into the corner for Houston. Ripped near side for Svitov. Out to center looking for McKinnon. It wouldn't go. And puck touched with a high stick by Dubuque. Face-off will be in the Phantoms' offensive zone. Face-off will be to the right of Homblick, who stopped 16 out of 17. Hextall to take the draw against Ekman. Hextall with the face-off win. McKinnon to the left point for White Rabbit. Turns and fired a low shot. Hextall tried to redirect it on the cage. It was blocked. Loose change grabbed and sent off a stanchion by Dubuque, and they are guilty of an icing whistle.
Definitely has been a choppy start here to this third period so far.
Well, this is our third face-off in the opening 118. So the face-off will come to the left of Homblick this time. Hextall against Ekman at the dot. Youngstown wins the draw. McKinnon turns and fires, missed the net. Rebound came to the weak side. Svitov couldn't bank it in off the back of Homblick. And the loose puck cleared out to center, bouncing down into the Phantom zone. Houston able to get it to settle, sends it near corner for White Rabbit. Out to center, pass was behind Hextall, able to play it off the wall to himself and then worked it deep. His squad goes for a line change. Doobie up the near side, hopped over the stick of Franken out to center, grabbed by Orlowski. To Tepley, D to Hamilton near side. To Hextall, still out here as Hamilton fires in. I thought Hextall was offside. He was. Fans are going to have to touch up here, and Dubuque will start to break it ahead. Out to center for Ekman, still out here. His long distance shot blocked to the end wall by Tepley. Rebound came to Hamilton, shoveled up the near wall looking for Hesh. Dabrowski couldn't back his way to the cage with the loose puck. He was knocked down hard from behind. Phantoms clear it out to center. Orlowski ahead to Zemlichka. Couldn't duck the shoulder to get to the cage. Good defense by Besnier. Zemlichka still with it, turning and firing right to the chest of Homblick, who holds.
Definitely would have liked to see Zemlichka there, maybe pick the lower corner there, the blocker side, instead of trying to go short side there at the top of the circle.
Omblek tight to his post, able to swallow that one up. 17:35 left in the third. Hey, Will, I think we went a minute without a whistle.
There you go. Now we're making progress now.
Hesh to take the draw against Barron. Hesh with a clean faceoff win. Wilson shooting, missed the cage from the high slot. Rebound to Orlowski into the circle. Zemlichka forced off of his stick up to the line. Murphy able to hold the zone. Down in the corner through Orlowski, comes to the near side. Only one there, Gavin Locke. And he will clear the zone. Put it off the back state of Teddy Merrill. He's able to regather and work it to Lofton. Into the zone, coming right down the middle strip to the puck as he tried to split three Phantoms. Murphy to Zemlichka. Back to Murphy. Gains the red line, sends it near side for Hesh. Fought his way through a check, but lost the puck. It rolled to Lofton. Sent it off a Phantom stick and quickly out to center, but grabbed by Murphy there. Took it away from Merrill. Entered the zone, Zemlichka. Around the wall to Orlowski, far side. Jesse. Put it into the corner, Boost skating into it, but Besnier got there ahead of him. Sent it left corner, grabbed by Sasaki. Kaz up to left point for White Rabbit. D to D to Houston, turning, firing Homblick with the save. Orlowski banks it in, he scores! Check that, Lenny Boost putting home the rebound. And Youngstown leads 2-0. Time of the goal, 3:24. For Lenny Boost, his 5th goal of the season. And Will, a timely insurance goal here in the early going of the third period.
And that was had a very similar resemblance to the first goal. Another redirection, except this time it came to the short side of the cage and he just was able to sneak it right over the back. And just like that, the Phantoms extended their lead to 2-0.
So Boost from Houston and White Rabbit doubles the Phantoms' lead. Simpson to left point for White Rabbit. Back to Simpson. Down the near wall to Rusinski. One hand on his stick, fed the point for White Rabbit. Bounced it on the cage. Hamblick was leaning to the left. Shot went back to the right. And do we have a penalty on the play after the whistle?
And Hamblick might have nightmares tonight of redirections, as that one almost snuck past him again. And Rusinski's done a great job all night, just staying right there in the slot area, screening Hamblick all night.
So we've got a penalty on the play. Cooper Simpson being called for head contact. Cavelli Center crowd doesn't like the call. Simpson doesn't like the call, but all of those opinions count for little and less. Youngstown heads to their second penalty kill of the game. Time of the penalty on Simpson, 3:47. Face-off will be to the left of Trable. Rusinski to take the draw against Merrill. Merrill with a clean face-off win. Frank to Besnier. Back to Frank, top of the left circle. Besnier center point. Top of the right circle, Barron. Tried to feed it into the box, hit his skate, came to Besnier. Side of the cage, Merrill. Forced to the corner by Wilson. Up to Frank, top of the left circle. Poked off of his stick by Rusinski and out to center. Besnier back for it. Floats it quickly back to the red line for Frank. Knocked off the puck by Rusinski, and he'll just play it deep, head off for a line change. 30 seconds gone on the kill for Youngstown. Besnier drops it back for Barron. Put behind the cage by Merrill. Bounce to the right corner. Hesh fanned on the clearing attempt. Hextall works it up the line. Hesh couldn't redirect it out of the zone. Kept by Frank. Center point Besnier. Left circle, Frank. Goal line extended for Barron. Tried to fire it through the blue paint and have Orpana bank it home. It wouldn't go. Sent to the point for Merrill. Between the circles. His shot hit Orpana at the side of the net. Hesh picks up the rebound and clears. 50 seconds left on the kill. Second power play unit out for Dubuque. Into the zone, Yosef and Westling. Put it to the left wing corner. Houston there. Took it away from him, couldn't clear. Yosef and Westling battling for it. Put it to the right corner for Dabrowski. Shoveled up to the right point for Lofton. Off the skates of McKinnon, he got it back. Center point for Ekman with 20. Side of the cage, then back to Ekman, left circle. Up high for Lofton, one-timer block. Rebound put wide of the cage by Josefson Westling. Rusinski without a stick. Dabrowski, top of the right circle. Faked McKinnon, fed it across behind Ekman. Wilson dives, couldn't clear. 3 seconds left in the penalty. Dabrowski shot, Trable save. Rebound cleared by McKinnon. Out of the box comes Simpson. Homblick spins it away from Simpson to the right side for Richards. Out to center, but beyond the reach of Dabrowski. Murphy off of McKinnon, taken away by Dabrowski. He'll gain the red line, but give it right back to Murphy. D to Tepley out to the neutral zone for Hextall. Jack into the zone down the left side. Hextall had it knocked off his stick by Lofton as he came to the cage. Loose change picked up by Johnson, sent out to center for Locke. Took a bump from Svitov, lost the puck to Murphy. Back to Svitov, Alexander into the zone. To Hextall, across to Tepley. Off the wall to the front of the net. Homblick covers with Svitov there, looking for some loose change. Media timeout. 13:27 left in the third. Youngstown leads 2-0. You're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Your best source for everything hockey is here. The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game. McDavid to the net, score! Off the ice player content you won't find anywhere else.
You guys have a helmet I could throw on for this?
The most NHL edge stats and advanced analytics and ways to catch up on the game how you want, when you want. When it comes to following the NHL, don't settle for anything else. Hockey is better on the NHL app. The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome back to Western Reserve Radio's coverage of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now here's the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
$13:27 left in the third. Phantoms lead 2-0. They just killed off a penalty to Cooper Simpson. Goal early in the period by Lenny Boos, his fifth of the campaign. Offensive zone draw for Youngstown. Hesh to take the draw against Ekman, and Ekman wins that draw. Out to center, Locke forced back into his own zone, plays it over to Richards. Out to center, poked away by Tepley, but bounced right to Kritsky. Into the attacking end, cuts toward the cage, got her on Murphy, but couldn't get a shot away. Then turned it over to Orlowski, and Jesse will send it softly out to center. Down into the Saint zone. Richards back for it, around the cage, out to center. Grabbed by Kovaluzzi. Across to Kritsky, forced back into his own end by Orlowski. Over to Loesch, defenseman fresh on the ice. He'll gain center red and backhanded into the zone. Picked up by Trable to Berard. Up the far wall. Found Orlowski at center, and now Rusinski. Rue into the zone down the right side. Ducked around a man, trying to draw a trip. It wouldn't go as play continues. Top of the right circle, Orlowski chipped it into the circle, bounced out to the line, kept by White Rabbit with a kick, and then a flop by Xavier Lieb trying to draw an interference call. Refs weren't buying that one either. Dubuque with it in their own end. Richards turned it over to Jardine, but he couldn't find Rusinski. Skating into it was Loesch. Fired into the Youngstown end. Lieb with a shot on the cage. Trable will cover with 11:56 left in the third.
Safe to say that Rusinski's 0 for tonight on trying to draw penalties.
So he drew that trip early in the first. No, there was no. Late in the first. There we go. The trip on Nils Sunda with 26 seconds left in the first was drawn by Rusinski, I believe. Face off to the left of Trable. Boost to take the draw against Ekman. Ekman with the face-off win, and then a quick shot by Josefson Westling wide of the cage. Here's a shot from the far wall by Lofton. Hit bodies in front, but Trable able to block it away, and it's out through center. Boost into the zone to Anderson. Logan backhands it below the goal for Boost. Comes near corner, pinched off The puck by Lofton. Anderson keeping it alive for Youngstown, but the puck out to center. And Boost with a cross-ice feed to nobody as it comes down the ice, and Trable will spin it around to the corner for Wilson. Pass out to center. Grab by Lofton. Over to Besnier. Cross the ice to Ekman. Played into the Phantom zone, but right to the stick of Wilson. Jack gains the red line and backhands it to the right wing corner. Phantom's going to start a line change here with 11:03 left in the third and a 2-0 lead. Hextall had it taken away from behind by Ekman with a good stick. He'll carry into the offensive end. Floats it to the end wall. Tepley the first one to it. Tepley around the cage. Fed McKinnon. Touch to Hextall. Jack ripped down by Brierly. Puck grabbed by Orpana. Fed over to Kritsky. And out to center for Orpana once more. Fed to the near wall, but taken away by Svitov. Fed left corner for Tepley. Mate carries ahead to Hextall. At the red line, he'll send it to the left wing corner of the Dubuque zone. Kritsky sticks it away from Svitov and sends it out to center. Picked up at the red line by Houston as the defense has been fresh on the ice for Youngstown. White Rabbit ahead off of Svitov. Taken right back by Dubuque and sent out to center. Houston slaps it in. Puck grab by Loesch, sent to Dabrowski, gains the neutral zone, ahead to Johnson. He'll fire into the Youngstown end. Trable able to slow it down as it came to Orlowski on the near corner. Bodied up with Orpana. White Rabbit in looking for the puck, taken away by the Saints. Barron fans on the centering feed, regathers and put it off the stick of Houston. Cal able to force his way out to the neutral zone. Puck taken away from Svitov by Locke. Chipped into the left wing corner. Locke catches up to behind the cage as Houston with a big hit. As it looked clean, but I think they're going to get him for a board. As Locke kind of turned his body at the last moment, put himself in a dangerous position, and Youngstown will be on the kill on the other side of the media timeout. 9:37 left in the third. Youngstown leads 2-0. You're listening to Youngstown Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Sports.
Now return you to Phantoms Hockey on Western Reserve Radio and the voice of the Phantoms, Matt Lipsack.
Just a 2-minute minor to Cal Houston. I don't know if it was a board or checking from behind. Did not see an indicator from our officials, as right now they are explaining their call. That is Miroslav Yards talking things over with Cal Houston at the penalty box. And Will, you and I were talking off the air. Was the hit in and of itself a penalty? Yes, but just as the hit was coming, Locke turned his body to Houston, putting himself in a dangerous position for the hit.
Yeah, he made himself vulnerable to that contact there, and Houston couldn't have done anything about it, and he finished this hit and unfortunately got called for it.
Dubuque controls the draw. It's Frank at the top of the left circle. Center point, Besnier. Checking from behind is the call on Houston. Down low, Tamero trying to feed it through the blue paint. It came through to the back door, and Orpana fires it home. They score. Somehow that puck got through Trable as he looked ready to block the pass. And A2 Orpana, with his 12th goal of the season, gets Dubuque on the board. All it took was 20 seconds of power play time. And Dubuque cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1. Time of the goal, 10:43.
It seems like Dubuque's been trying that play all night, and they finally got it to cash in there. The number one power play in the USHL, able to bury that one backside on Trable.
And, you know, Will, as I got to look at the replay, it looked like the pass was initially blocked by either Trable or a diving Malachi McKinnon, but it just settled in the blue paint, and Orpana there to poke it home as nobody able to check him. As we're back to live action, Zemlichka across the red line. Fed around to the left wall, Orlowski. Back around the kick plate looking for Zemlichka. Took the body on his man, put it behind the net. Only one there is Lofton. Up to left point, kept by Hamilton. Fed back down low around the wall. Hesh looking for it. Besnier got there ahead of him, put it behind the net for Lofton. Lofton out to center for Merrill. Fired into the Youngstown zone, around to the right side, Simpson. Cooper delays, lifted out to center, was looking for Jardine, but gloved down by Richards and fired back into the zone. Locke up the far wall, but right to Jardine. Jards denied the zone. Puck came to Rusinski, back to Jardine. Fams are onside. Pass to the slot, looking for Rusinski, was behind him, and Dubuque will carry ahead. Into the attacking end, Merrill. Good stick by Carter Murphy to deny the zone as it comes back to Murphy, sent over to Wilson. Danced around the check of Locke, up to the line for Jardine. Behind him to Simpson. Rusinski, one-timer kicked out by Hombelik, as I don't think Rusinski got everything he wanted on that shot. Dubuque into the zone. Barron through the blue paint, nobody on the weak side for Dubuque, and Rusinski ices the puck. 7:35 left in the first. Dubuque has gotten on the board.
And Rusinski just can't buy one tonight. He's been all over the ice, redirecting pucks, getting chances in the slot, and just hasn't been able to find it past the body of Hombelik.
Face off to the right of Trable. Rusinski to take the draw against Ekman. Dubuque wins the draw, center point. Richards Doobie with a shot. Blocker saved by Trable. Simpson able to force the loose puck out to center. Gains the red line, and we'll head off for a line change. Hombelik sent it to the right wall. Saints quickly out to center, but off of Hextall. It'll come to Houston. To Hextall. Little bobble. We'll drop it off for Houston, getting in their own zone. Cal gains the blue line to Hextall. Houston into the attacking end. Houston, right corner. Sharp angle shot through the blue paint. White Rabbit held the left point. Turns and fires off an ankle. Comes behind the cage to Svitov. Worked it to McKinnon. Came free of that area out to left point. Kept by White Rabbit again. Bounced it down low. Kritzky trying to take Svitov out of the play. Saints come away with the puck. Cleared up to the line. Nice keep by McKinnon. To the right hash for Hextall. Turned his back to Doobie into the circle for McKinnon. To the point for Houston. D to White Rabbit. Back to the line for Houston. Across McKinnon to the circle. Off the skate of White Rabbit. Picked up by Doobie. Carried around the cage. And up to Josefson Westling. Couldn't clear. Kept by Svitov. Shot was blocked. Rebound came to Hextall. He'll turn and fire. That's off a stick and out to center. Tepley retreats into his own end. D to Hamilton and back to Tepley. 6:05 left in the third. Phantoms lead by a goal. Pass ahead off the stick of Kovaluzzi, so no icing. Loesch got there first, sent it right corner for Kritzky. Kritzky's pass ahead off a Youngstown stick. That was Anderson. As the puck came to Hamilton, cleared the line, stolen away by Lieb. Lieb down the left side with a shot, saved by Trable. Rebound thrown in front past Kovaluzzi. Kept to the right point by Sunda. Put behind the net for Kovaluzzi. Out to the left point for a shot by Los. That was wide. Lieb to the rebound. Fired around the kick plate, looking for Loesch. It made it to him. His shot off the pad of Trable and sticked all the way out to center. Picked up by Sunda. Back to the red line, D to Loesch. He'll fire it back in. Trable stops it behind the cage, sends it left corner for Tepley. Mate up the wall to Boos and then to Saki. Kaz into the attacking end. Pulls up the top of the right circle and feeds it down low, but Besnier got there ahead of Anderson. Bumped it behind him and carrying ahead is Lofton. Gains the red line. Slipped it over to Kovaluzzi. He'll fire into the Phantom zone. Trable slows it down for Murphy left corner. Banked across near side for Wilson. Off of Zemlichka and Boos. It came back to Wilson in the right corner with 4:45. Out to center off of Hesh. Skating into it Orlowski, but Lofton got there just ahead of him. Carried around the cage to the far side looking for Locke. Able to get it out to center. Carrying into the attacking end was Barron. Lost the puck to Murphy. A good stick. Hesh backhands to Zemlichka. Orlowski couldn't drag the stick. And the Phantoms are offside on the zone entry with 4:30 left in the third.
the one play on the ice you can't make a deke like that is near the blue line, which ultimately results in that offsides there for Youngstown.
Yeah, when you're trying to time up that zone entry, any move to the side will usually end up in an offside whistle, unless you got really long legs. Neither one of us can relate to that.
Yeah, I can't.
Neutral zone draw won by Dubuque. Richards to Locke. Out to center off of Merrill and redirected into the Phantom zone. Houston to the left corner for Hextall. Cleared it into the middle. Shot was blocked by White Rabbit, who carries ahead through center. To McKinnon, to Svitov. Hextall, one-timer glove save by Hombolek, who holds. And, Will, you and I have the same reaction, just looking to the skies as Hombolek playing well here tonight. He stopped 21 out of 23.
He's come with some amazing split saves here in the third period. He got that deflection on where he got that chance off of Rusinski there in the slot, and then just got that one on the last shift. So he's definitely in the zone for Dubuque right now.
And it is Rusinski here to take the draw. I believe that's against Orpana there to take the face-off, and it is Rusinski with the face-off win. Put it into the corner, but taken away by Kritsky. Got there ahead of Simpson. Kritsky off the stick of Simpson, made it to center. As Dubuque is offside here on the dump, and Treble just going to spin it up the near wall. Jardine to Rusinski. Gains the red line, couldn't fire it deep. Blocked off by the Saints and sent back out to center. Picked up by Berard. Brody from his own line. Off of Rusinski and Simpson into the zone. Hombolek sets it up as Youngstown will start a line change with 3:30. Johnson redirects into the Phantoms' end. Trickles behind the cage. Berard got there first, put it left corner. Johnson the first one there. Fired around the kick plate, kept at the right point by Richards. Hard off the end wall, came around to Johnson left side. Back below the goal for Orpana, centering feed off the back of the net. Orpana got his own pass. Left circle for Brierly. His shot wide of the cage. Rebound kept at the right point by Dubuque. McKinnon took it away. Banked it off the glass and out to center. Brierly in his own zone. To Richards off a Phantom stick, but out to center. Into the zone comes Kovaluzzi with a shot. Treble to save. Rebound swept to the corner by Wilson. Up the wall to Orlowski, then Hextall with 2:40 left in the third. Phantoms into the attacking end. Hextall waiting for help. Forced out to center. Jardine there to clean it up. Fires it back in, but the Phantoms will have to touch up. Saints out to center. Ekman redirects it into the Phantom zone with 2:20 left in the third. Hombolek still firmly between the pipes. Wilson out to center. Almost too many men on the ice there for Dubuque. Instead, it will be Merrill to carry ahead. Gains the red line, turned it over to Rusinski, but he couldn't work it deep. Taken back by Merrill, sent near side for Orpana into the zone as Hombolek heads to the bench. 2 minutes exactly left in the third. Phantoms lead by a goal. Left point, Merrill shot, Treble save, rebound in the corner. Murphy up the wall, Jardine to Rusinski, to the empty net. Hey! Shoots and scores! Oh, captain, my captain, Ryan Rusinski, his 26th goal of the season, puts Youngstown ahead 3-1, just 11 seconds after the netminder went to the cage, or went to the bench for the extra attacker. Time of the goal, 18-11.
And Rusinski finally cashed in on that goal he's been looking for all night. He's been so close and was just able to fire that from his own blue line and bury it. And that might be in the nail in the coffin of the Dubuque Fighting Saints this weekend.
And, you know, Will, I won't lie. I thought that one was going wide off his stick, but I should have known better. Ryan Rusinski splits the uprights. And Lenny Boos, who right now stands to get the game-winning goal, will take the face-off. Dubuque, however, with the face-off win. And we'll see if Evan Dixon pulls Hombolek back to the bench again as we hit 95 seconds left in regulation. Hombolek will indeed head to the bench as the puck comes up the ice. Fired into the zone by Dubuque. Humblick back on the bench with 90 seconds left in regulation. Houston trying to pin it to the left corner. Puck still being mucked around there in the left corner. Came free of the scrum. Orpana lost it to Boost. Rolled back in the corner. Frank up the wall to the point for Merrill. Put it into the left circle. Boost poked it to the line. Kept by Merrill. Backhanded it down low. Came to Anderson. Logan just going to put it down into the offensive end. Sasaki beats out the icing whistle. Kaz trying to step in front. He scores! Let's go fishing with dynamite. Kazimo Sasaki, a second empty net goal for Youngstown. Phantoms lead 4-1. Time of the goal, 19:01 for Sasaki, his 8th goal of the season. And well, you know when it came down to a foot race, Cosmo Sasaki was going to get down there and beat out the icing whistle. But great work at the side of the net and then strength on the stick to force that one through the defender and across the goal line.
That was a great hustle play by Sasaki there, and he's just one assist away from that Gordie Howe hat trick tonight.
Back to live action, puck down into the Dubuque zone, thrown toward the cage. From the left point by Hamilton, blocked away by the Saints. They're back out through center as Youngstown gonna get the weekend sweep here against Dubuque. Looking to draw closer to locking down that first round bye, that 1 seed, and continue the chase for the Anderson Cup. 25 seconds left in regulation. Berard behind his cage. Spins away from Lieb. Up the wall to Orlowski, who opened the scoring here tonight. Jesse peels around the net with 10. Orlowski still with it. Near corner for Hamilton with 5. Back to Orlowski. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cavelli Center is closed for business here in the regular season. Youngstown wins 4-1. Final shots on goal for the game, 25-17 in favor of Youngstown. Phantoms with 9 shots in the period. Dubuque with 7. We'll keep it here for the post-game show. Phantoms got on the board at 18:05 of the first. Jesse Orlowski, his 4th goal of the season. Monte Tepley and Ricard Zemlichka with the assists. 1-0 Youngstown at the end of 1. No scoring in the second. At 3:24 of the third, Lenny Booth with his 5th of the season. Cal Houston and Ryan Whiterabbit with the helpers. Phantoms led 2-0. Power play goal for Eitur Orpana at 10:43, his 12th of the season. Teddy Merrill with the assist. But then Ryan Rusinski scores on the empty net at 19:02, his 26th of the season. Evan Jardine and Jesse Orlowski with the assist. And then Cosmo Sasaki also scores on the empty net. Sorry, the Sasaki goal came at 19:02. I believe the empty net goal for Rusinski came at 18:11. So Sasaki on the empty net, his 8th of the season. Logan Anderson with the assist, and that capped off the scoring here this evening. Youngstown with the 4-1 win. They will wrap up their home schedule 19-8, 1-1 here at the Cavelli Center this season. Phantoms will wrap up the 25-26 campaign with a 5-game road trip. 2 games in Chicago next weekend, 1 at USA Hockey Arena on March the 27th, and then a pair of games against Cedar Rapids to wrap up regular season play. Phantoms, magic number is 5 to clinch a first-round bye in the 2026 Clark Cup playoffs. Stay tuned to Phantoms social media and USHL social media for playoff dates and times. Again, those Phantoms channels on X at Y-Town Phantoms, on Facebook and Instagram at Youngstown Phantoms. I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight and all season long here on Western Reserve Radio and Flow Hockey. I cannot wait for the 2026 Clark Cup playoffs. For my engineers, Dave Ferris and Jim Craven, for Brendan Miller on social media, for Will Craven, thank you for joining me tonight, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Hope to have you back in the playoffs. I am Matt Lipsack, the voice of the Youngstown Phantoms. Thank you for tuning in. One more time, your final score, Youngstown 4 and Dubuque 1. We'll catch you in the playoffs here at the Covelli Center. Sound out. Fade to black.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.